What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Untitled, Unfocused. I'm Tyler. That is Rayman over there on the left. um, and yeah, we got
Is the layout different?
some stuff to talk about today. First episode with like an actual format, so that's fun. We're gonna be talking about some anime.
You ever just say like I miss format?
Talk about some anime. We got Lycoris Recoil, Rent a Girlfriend. We got the Pig movie, Nicolas Cage. We got some Marvel stuff we want to talk about, and a couple books. Well, one book, and then possibly. Are you caught up in Well, not caught up. How are you caught up in Chainsaw Man?
Yes.
You are. Okay. We might be one chapter behind. I read up to 101. I don't know if 102 is out yet, but I didn't read that. But that's what I figured we can talk up to at least. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the latest one.
Yeah. Because I think Chainsaw Man comes out on Tuesdays, I think. Maybe Wednesdays.
Yeah, one's the latest one.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, bunch of good variety today.
Because I'm just manga plus.
So yeah, I guess we'll just get into it. So we'll do anime first, Ray. Do you have a preference on which one you want to go first?
I have no preference on Lycoris Recoil. Actually, let's think about this real quick. What would you want to start with? Would you rather start with Recoil or would you rather start with Rent a Girlfriend? This is the real question we gotta ask ourselves. I'm okay with either. Because Rent a Girlfriend isn't really heading towards its path yet. We still got hope. But that's the problem, It's gonna really slowly decrease.
Let's start with Lycoris, since that's our sort of like newer, fresher anime, you know. Then we can bounce off of coming off of us watching season 1 like 2 years ago. I feel like Rent a Girlfriend was a while ago, but so yeah, let's do Lycoris Recoil, new anime. I don't know if it's original or not, probably not. But so yeah, this was a show where I thought it was gonna be really interesting.
Original.
It is original. Oh shoot, that's cool. That's a double-edged sword though. you know, like original shows, there's a lot of potential there, but it's not based off anything, so we don't know where the story's going, you know. There's nothing to pull from, so yeah, this was a cool show to start off with, right? Because we have it's kind of described or in the videos or whatever as it's like girls, like high school, I guess, I don't know. They're like killers. They're like assassins. But I think that this show takes it in a fun place where we see let's see, I wrote all the names down. We got Takina, right? That's our main character. And we got Chisato, who is the one that's like we meet right at like the cafe. And yeah, I like that they're kind of playing with that, where Takina has to learn to be not just like a killer all the time, she learns stuff from Chisato, and how like it starts off with them just doing like normal everyday stuff, and she's like freaked out. She's like, what's going on? Why, what is our purpose here? And Chisato's like, oh, we're just helping people, like that's really what it's all about. And so yeah, just like valuing human life, right? Because we have the fun stuff where she's like shooting them with non-lethal bullets, which like I don't know if that follows science, because there's like rubber bullets, but like the bullets used in the show aren't really rubber bullets. They're like some freak like technology. And then even what was the other thing they use? They use like I don't know. So it was something else, I forget. But yeah, I think there's a lot of good action in the show. Them actually dodging bullets is kind of crazy. It's some Matrix stuff, where like I think Chisato in particular, where she just so calmly just like steps aside from out of the way of bullets, especially I think it was in episode 2 where they really start fighting people. They fight like this group of people in the building when they were what's the word, like taxiing the hacker who at the time we didn't know was just the lady at the cafe. But like
that was pretty good. Let me be real.
Yeah. But like how she was just like walking through rounds of bullets was just really cool. That's just that's just cool, But yeah, it even like you mentioned with there was like the like big brain play where we thought the hacker got riddled. And then it turns out that it was all fake blood, and the hacker wasn't even them. It was like I said, it was the lady from the cafe. The driver in the ambulance was the dude, the owner of the cafe, and the hacker was in the little luggage case. Which also makes sense because like during the fight, the quote unquote hacker was telling them to like take care of the luggage case and like not use it as a shield for bullets, because now we know there was actually someone in there,
It's pretty good.
But yeah, I don't know.
So I was just pulling up some stuff.
I don't know where.
No, that's it. Yeah.
I don't know where they're going with the like CEO dude. He's like the one that's opposing them, but then like he just shows up at the cafe. It's like, does he not recognize them? Because he had like security footage looking at these two girls that were going crazy. And then like he just shows up at their cat. Like, does he know them? I mean, because clearly they don't recognize him from like his job. You know what I mean? They just know that he's been coming around the cafe a lot more. But like, has he not seen their face? Did we not see him see their face in like security footage? That that.
So I think
he has?
He's just there to be funny. I think it's assumed he knows who they are. He's just there to figure out what they're doing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He's trying to get like a step up because they don't know who he is.
Okay.
So he's being there trying to figure out what they're doing, what they're up to, even if it's just a little bit to help him out.
Do we know what his goal is, or is he just like a cliche like, I'm trying to run things, I'm trying to take more capital?
It could just be cliche.
Yeah. That's fine.
Maybe they'll make him better later on. It's tough to work with those 2 episodes and find out where the plot's going. But I will say they felt kind of nice. Like, I pulled up the Mal page because I don't remember the characters' names, but Chisato is a fun character to look with, and same with Takina. They're both fun in their own way. They got good chemistry in how they operate. And, like, it's insane to me how much more ridiculous, or that Chisato's way more ridiculously adept than Takina.
Right.
It's like all that bloodlust is like hidden.
She just knows how to like
but like
control
rubber
it more.
bullets though. Of course, yeah. It's like she can do things Takina can never do. But like she'd be like, I got rubber bullets, it's not gonna kill you, I'm sorry. But Takina does not take rubber bullets as an option. Takina's like, we shoot to kill.
Right,
I'm
because
surprised
that's how she was trained.
Yet.
Yeah. Like, she's like by the books, that's why. She was trained in this like Lycoris stuff, and so that's what she does. The whole reason why the show exists, like with her going against her superior's orders, is the first time she's ever done that, and you're not supposed to do that. She in the end got the desired outcome, really like the best case scenario, but she still went against the chain of command, right? And so like she's even had small little arguments with these first couple episodes with Chisato about like, that's not how we do things. And Chisato was like, what do you mean? Like, why would we kill people if we don't have to? And then we see that, a little bit come back around as like good karma when the dude that Chisato shoots and keeps alive and then talks about like him having dinner with his family tonight or whatever, right? Like when they go out, when they're gonna go out to the rooftop, because that's where they're supposed to bring Walnut. I remember that was like the mascot's name, Walnut. The dude like drags her aside and is like, hey, don't go out there, they're waiting for you, you know. And it's already too late, you know, like Takina and Walnut already step outside, but like that right there, that dude didn't have to do that, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't paid to help them, he was paid to kill them. But like, you know, that little bit of karma right there, I feel like they're probably going to play with more in the show, because that's kind of Chisato's character, and that's kind of the point of them sending Takina to her. But yeah, you know, I'm interested to see how that actually plays a role, or if they just don't care about it, you know, going forward, you know.
It helps that they're like a smaller Lycoris form too, like Lycoris firm, because there's just the two of them.
Right.
And then they have like the head, and they have their intelligence, who's like the other lady.
Yeah, I know.
But that's like really it, though.
It was,
and then like Chisato, we know, is responsible for like the tower crumbling, or like the broken tower. We know that's what Chisato did. We don't know
right
why or how she did it. So that's probably going to come as well later in other episodes. There we go. Speak proper English.
Yeah, it's still like, do you imagine that that's going to be like a big plot point of like us actually learning what that is? Because they've talked about it like 4 times now, but they haven't talked about like why that, like what happened to the tower. They're just like, oh yeah, that was a day and it's now a symbol, and you know, the reason they're keeping it is for historical purposes, for us to learn from, you know, to learn that we're stronger than, I don't know, our mistakes or whatever.
I think Chisato's a purpose for that, and I think that also could tie back to our antagonist as well.
Sure.
But who knows?
Yeah, we don't really know. It's all, again, only first couple episodes. We're just kind of, you know, I feel like these first couple episodes are just kind of showing us like the atmosphere of the show, as well as a few of the main characters, which we've already got a new one, right? Like that hacker girl now lives with them.
Yeah, she's gonna be relevant now. She's gonna be coming in, maybe help us with some hacking in the Lycoris firm.
Yeah.
Help them out. It's a pretty good potential right now. I like cute girls. I like cute girls doing crazy stuff. But the action's pretty well animated too.
It's pretty
They
good.
don't hold back at all.
Yeah. I mean, we got some explosions. We got some bullet dodges. You know, we got some flips, some dips. You know what I'm saying?
Got some hostage situations. It's all pretty good right now.
Yeah. I feel like it's a really good setup. Again, at this point, the show could go either way. The show could dip and it could become very repetitive, or they could actually have somewhere to go, which again I think plays into what I said about original shows, where it's like they don't always pan out in a good way. But again, we don't know, because there's no manga or light novels, you know, readers to be like, oh no, this is good, you know, I hope they do this correctly. We just have no idea.
When we bring up Chainsaw Man, I'm going to touch on that again, because that's ridiculous. But
yeah.
I agree with that.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see with this show. I mean, I think, like I said, first 2 episodes aren't really too much. I think next week we'll be able to get into it more, because I think episode 3 and 4 is like, okay, we need to start knowing what the show is actually about, because, you know, kind of like you said, we don't know, like we don't know what the antagonist is actually doing. We don't know if that's the actual antagonist. You know, what about that other hacker that's young and up and coming? Like, how big is his role gonna get? You know, we really don't know anything other than just, I mean, this. To me, if this show was just Takina and Chisato and like their relationship and like them going on wacky missions, I think I'd be okay with that so far, because again, like their dynamic is really fun. But now that
That'd be good, yeah.
Yeah, but like they are definitely going to introduce an actual like mission. Yeah, the actual plot with the dude. So like, yeah. I mean, we'll see if that's good or not. We'll see how much that actually, like, if it pulls any emotions or anything, or if it's just one note. So, yeah. we'll see.
You summed it up pretty well.
We're gonna do episodes 3 and 4 next week, of course. But we have another anime to talk about, and this one is a little more exciting.
Talk about it a bit more.
This one is exciting for different reasons, because like Lycoris Recoil, I expect to be good, like actually good quality. Rent a Girlfriend, I don't, because the first season wasn't that great. I think the first season had like its moments where it was really fun and actually like,
dude,
actually had like some like emotional moments, but like overall, ridiculous. One thing I didn't think I was gonna like about this was the first episode starts and there's like 5 minutes of just recap of like who everyone is.
No, but that's important for. I needed that.
I mean, I didn't really remember everyone, but like, it was such a strange way to go about it. Like, it was literally just the narrator being like, "Here's who these characters are." I don't know. I feel like they could have done it in a clever way, like showing them in the moment, like doing something, and like showing, not telling, like literally telling. Whenever I see something like this, right, I get sad, because the full first episode, not a whole lot happens, right? I didn't really love the first episode. It was just about like,
I quite enjoyed the first one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's kind of weird for me to say, because like Kazuya just sucks for the most part. I'll be real.
He does, yeah.
But the first episode really gives you hope for him. It's like, he genuinely cares, at least for Chizuru, enough. Goes to the play, has a grand old time. Is that the first episode, or am I just wacky?
No, it is.
Okay. And he goes to play, has a grand old time. He's vibing. It's pretty good.
I got really sad watching that episode because it reminded me of Act Age. And then I got really sad. I was like,
does have Act Age vibe. I mean, anything with acting it just hits the Act Age vibe automatically.
Anything with acting, yeah. What was that other manga you showed me, like recently?
I think I sent you. I forget the name of it. It already is.
Okay.
Pull it up real quick.
What was it? The one with like the two people reincarnated as like the idol's kids? Is that the one I'm thinking of? I don't know why I'm asking.
That's one of them. But there's another one I have to show you. Another one that's really good right now that will bring Act Age vibes.
Okay.
But that one is Oshinoko.
Yeah, there we go. There it is. That's the one I was thinking of. And that one kind of gives me Act Age vibes because, I mean, there's not a lot of acting in that. Well, no, there is, because like the dude is becoming an actor, right? Where the girl wants to become an idol.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. But yeah, I didn't really love the first episode. I just thought that it was like, it kind of dragged on for me. I was like, I don't know. I get it. She's in a play. I mean, the one thing I did like about it, or I think maybe it was I like the second episode more. Because that was when
I forgot what the second episode is. I'm not gonna lie, but I already forgot what the second one is.
Oh, dude. Well, here you go. So the second episode is great.
We're on the flip side. It's great.
The second episode is great because this is after he agrees to rent her every week, which is ridiculous. That's like way too much money, right? That's even like her thing, where it's like it's too many.
He gives her like a 5-star review.
Yeah, gives her a great review every time. But I really like this because we have the moment where it's after one of their dates, and you feel like she's acting a little cold towards him, and he has that reaction of like, oh right, and like in his head he's like, oh yeah, this is just like a rent-a-girlfriend, like she doesn't really care about me like that, it's just whatever. And then they start to walk away, and then she says, oh, it's 5:01, I'm off the clock now, I can choose to do stuff, right? And so she brings him to the batting cage.
That's a savage move from her.
Yeah.
The batting cage, taking her grandma. Yeah. It's a complete savage move. I appreciate it, though.
Yeah.
Like, basically she's saying, I don't mind hanging out with you.
And I really like that moment because it's kind of like what you said about the first episode with Kazuya, where it's like, they do care about each other. Like this is one of those shows where it's so plain that they're going to be the ones that get together, like for real, at some point. It's not like other harems where it's like, ooh, we don't know. You know, because like there was a moment in, I don't remember what episode it was, but it was with his ex, right? The blonde one, who I feel like, from if my memory serves me correctly, she was awful from the first season, right? Like she was an awful person. Wasn't she the one that like broke up with him, and then like wasn't she like starting rumors about him or something? So like,
Yes.
but there
Yes.
is a moment in this first 2 episodes where Chizuru is hesitant to want to hang out with Kazuya, and the reason is because his ex hates it when they hang out. But like, I don't understand why they care so much, because is Kazuya still trying to get back with her? Like, what was that the plot from the first season?
I think it's an awkward relationship. I think mommy wants to get back with him.
Which is in itself ridiculous.
Yeah,
Because,
like the entire point of breaking up with him was to make him jealous so he could get back with her.
right, because she's like super like self-centered and stuff, right? Like she's
Mm-hmm.
like that. But like, I don't know.
Wasn't she also on social media blasting him?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, like she was like,
It's so weird, dude.
yeah. It's like such a,
I mean, real life perspective, get that person out of your life. That's not
Yeah.
it.
such a toxic person to be around. Like, yeah, I don't know why
I
this
mean, I
stuff
found problems
matters.
with show like in real life, it's like don't ever be with Chizuru. It's not worth your time, dude. Like you have two people who actually genuinely like you, and you could actually have a chance.
We didn't see much of either of them though. First couple episodes.
You're right. They're not here though.
But like,
They were in season 1 though.
they were. Yeah, I mean, we saw a little bit of them, right? Like the one is actually his girlfriend, right? Like currently.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And like she was, you know, rightfully so. She was kind of jealous of him hanging out with Chizuru so much.
Yeah.
And then we
And
have.
she's like, "Don't do it." And he's like, "Oh, except you can do this on this occasion." And she's like, "Forgive me though."
Yeah.
She's like, "Do this one thing for me." And afterwards, I forget what she said in that episode.
Oh yeah, it was like right, because she didn't, you know, because her whole thing was like, it doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to be you that supports Chizuru. Like, it can,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, why does it have to be you? Whatever. And so like it ends with her being okay with it, but she wants him to take her to Chizuru's play sometime. And Kazuya
Okay,
was
so
like,
she can see what it's like.
yeah, or I mean, just like a date, right? Because Kazuya clearly doesn't do that very often with her.
Mhm.
And she's like, dude, I'm your girlfriend. Like what are we doing? You know?
It's a win-win, dude. He gets to show her how great Chizuru is, and then like he gets a date with her. Well, her name is Ruka.
Yeah, Ruka. And then there's the other
Looking
one,
at the
the
map.
like red-haired girl who we see very briefly in the first episode, who also attended Chizuru's play. And then I think she was gonna like walk up to him and say something, but we see Kazuya as like entranced by Chizuru's performance, and she was like, you know what, maybe some other time. I still don't understand her relationship to everything. Like, it's like,
Her relationship is that she's just a friend of Chizuru. I'm pretty sure Chizuru. And
oh
Chizuru was like,
yeah,
go on a date with him because he's really good at like doing these dates with people. And she's like, because she's nervous. And then because she went on her first date with him, she's like, she likes him, but she's nervous around him anyway. So
that's something to me that shouldn't last. I mean, I feel like this anime is gonna lean
would not
very,
last.
very heavy into it, but like it's like, oh, like get out there more. You know what I'm saying? Like, like just because it's your first one, it's like, okay, let's.
You know, if this creator was wild, he would make her make the wildest move first.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be something. I don't think it'll happen, but I think it'd be something if it did.
I don't think it's gonna happen either, but I mean, that would be like the big brain thing to do. Like she's the most nervous wreck. Have her do it, and then regret everything afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But then have it work out anyway.
And that would definitely affect
That's
the
some
other.
Kaguya level mentality.
That would definitely affect the other girls too, to like see her make a move.
They'd be like, "It's so good."
And
Right in front of mommy, it would ruin her. It would break her completely.
oh, dude, yeah, I would love that. He has way too much stuff to worry about that actually matters than worrying about her.
But he does worry though.
But he shouldn't. But then you also mentioned the grandmother. I liked that scene. I thought it was good. I liked the couple times where she talked about she's dying soon. And Kazuya freaked out.
She's like, I'm dying soon. And he's like, are you really though? And she's like, no, but yeah, I am though.
No, but yes. But I do like that because there was some actual like character growth where we see that Chizuru is even more almost like desperate than Kazuya is. Like she needs like affirmation, and you know she needs people to like her. You know, she needs people to like tell her good job, which is nice. You know, it does explain a lot about their relationship as well. You know, even about her, like, you know, Kazuya like going to her play, and then there's that like outburst outside where Kazuya like gives himself to her. It's like, I will help you in every way, and she's like, why are you saying this so loudly in front of other people?
That was the most Chad thing he's done in this entire series. But then he ends it with like, I'll rent you every week. Excuse me?
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
Not sure if that's the line should end it with, but like we're moving. I guess it would be called Rent a Girlfriend if you didn't rent a girlfriend out, so.
That is true. Then we have the one sad moment where she doesn't get the part that she wants, or she doesn't make the connection she wants to make, but the other girl does.
It's that act age feels there.
Yeah, it's that stuff, man. You know, and then she gets upset. And it's like, oh man, that's just how the industry is. You know, you just got to keep working for it, because obviously she was like the star of the show. You know, so I feel like if she keeps working,
she's the best actor.
Yeah,
it's all about having connections.
But also like,
that's what it's all about.
One thing I do like about that though is they didn't make the girl who got that like insufferable. You know, like she was super nice to Chizuru.
She was nice.
Yeah, and she was just like, hey, that was fun acting. We should do it again together. You know, like,
yeah,
they could have very well made her like a cliche of just like arrogant and like pushing it in other people's faces, you know. But she was just like, no.
I think that's what hurts even more, that she's this nice person.
Sure. Yeah. I feel like internally,
because like the entire point is like, if they're mean, right? It's like, then they should like obviously, you know. But it hurts that this is a nice person, and obviously they have connections and they got the part, and they don't want to hurt anyway, but they did anyway.
I feel like it's good that the support is there though, because like, you know, everyone, all the other actors that she interacts with is like nice and like wants to train together and like wants to like hang out together. It's like, we can turn this into a positive.
It was a good play performance.
Yeah.
Positive production.
Was that manga that we talked about a few minutes ago, was that the one where there was an adaptation of a manga and like the mangaka was like, she was like cool with it, and then she wasn't cool with it, and then she was cool with it again?
Yes.
That's the one? Okay,
yes.
Yeah. A lot happened in that manga so far. I feel like it's not that long, but a lot has happened.
I mean, like, you can thank like Mengo and Aka for like their work on it. They're insane.
Yeah, really good. The writing and the art, both really good.
I'm just waiting for the ActAge artist to come back.
Oh, dude, didn't she announce that she was doing something, or like?
She's free agent right now. I don't know if she's doing something right now. She's free agent right now for anyone who's doing work.
I thought she talked about how like she's working on something, but like she hasn't talked about what it is. Or maybe I'm lying. Maybe someone else did that, and I'm mixing the two.
I don't know. I think she's doing a lot of VTuber art. I could be wrong.
That's cool. Live your life, have fun.
But like, what is it? Yeah, because like Act Age is like really good. I think for anyone, I mean like for us, like if you stop at the train arc, you're pretty good. You don't need anything more after train.
Is that the last big one?
No, is it train the last big one, or was it the play? I think train comes after play, because train's the second play.
That's wrong.
Is it wrong?
Yeah,
is
it's
it the
flipped
play comes after?
because the train is where she meets that one male actor who's like who gets like super into stuff.
Oh, and then he comes back
and he comes back in the play, right? Yeah.
So you end after play, and then you're good. Don't know anything more. That's acting.
Doesn't everyone come back in the play? Isn't the play like Avengers?
The play's huge. The play's literally like and you're right. Actually, you're right. Play does happen after train because literally everyone comes back. It's a battle of two plays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is so cool how they did that, man. It's such a shame, you know? Such a shame. So we're so close to the end.
It's a battle of two plays. Didn't they do something? Dude, Oshinoko hit such a similar vibe with that too.
It did, man. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities.
Like instead of having there be two plays, it's just a play split between the heroes and the villains.
Yep.
Which is a different way to mirror it, but still pretty good.
It's clever.
But I guess in Oshinoko though, it's like it's not everyone came back. It's like a good amount of people came back.
Yeah, I mean, because it was like main girl, right? And we had the dude that we met with the train, and then we have her like best friend rival who was introduced in the first movie, right? And then I forget who the other dude was that came in, because it was two boy girls, right? I don't remember who the other dude was.
Could have been a new guy. One new guy.
Oh yeah, I think it was the new guy, because wasn't that
it's
new
the
guy
one new
the
guy
one
because he's the best young actor, I think. The one new actor. And then there's the old actor who was on the old production.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's two new guys. Anyway, it's still still good stuff.
One last thing with anime, Ray. Did you see that the Haikyuu movies got announced?
I did see that.
Are you a manga reader when it comes to that?
It was anime. I actually want to keep watching the anime. I love the anime.
Do you have any thoughts on that? On them announcing 2 movies, so seemingly just ending the series?
I'm okay with it. As long as they end it with the one shot, that'd be cool. If they put the final clips from the one shot in the movie, that would be kind of good.
I haven't read the manga. I've only watched the anime. People are nervous because apparently they don't see how 2 movies can cover the rest of the manga, or the rest of the manga. They're like, this seems like they're gonna cut stuff out.
I mean, how long are the movies? I mean, we don't know. It could be like 2 hours 45, 2 hours 45. But like, well, more likely not that. Probably just 220.
That's long. That's a long movie.
I think 220 is like probably the length they could go for, and not feel obnoxious.
I really hope they don't mess it up, because it's been so good so far, and for them to just like, if that is the case, that they are truncating the ending, I feel like that's gonna tarnish the legacy.
It could be they're trying to get a movie budget. I mean,
some people are trying to spin it, where they're like, ooh, because like it's called Haikyuu Final, and they're like, ooh, what if that just means like the end of the nationals? And people are like, maybe, but I feel like that's optimistic.
that is optimistic. I think it could be end of finals, but I don't know how they're doing it. So like, what can I say?
I don't know.
All I know is like the one shot's like, because I read the one shot, and I was like, this is really good.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me of why I like Haikyuu.
It's good, man. Depending on the quality of the movies, I might read the manga. Especially if they mess it up, then I'm like, okay, let's read the manga, see how it actually ends.
the anime is so good though. I know you know what I mean, like the visuals and how they represent everything.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's over dramatic and like off the top, but it just works so well.
Yeah, it's what I think it's definitely like the best sports anime in my opinion, and like nothing else comes close.
This is why I told you it's like what I use to gauge my sports anime is IQ.
Yeah. I mean, like I watched I'm a couple seasons into Kuroko basketball, which is like the it's not the only basketball anime, but it's I don't know, it's one of like the newer, bigger ones, I guess. And it definitely has a lot of similarities to IQ. Not as good though. Not it's not quite as good.
IQ just it's different. Like it's your typical anime. It has the power spikes, the cap. It's all tournament arcs, all tournament and training arcs.
Ridiculous.
Shonen battle mangas, you'll love to see it. You can watch Haikyuu as a shonen battle manga and enjoy it.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's not that. It's the little things in the show, right? You know, the little things. You watch, you get a little excited, you like. Spoilers for season 1. They lose.
Yeah. Which I think is one of the best.
And it's so
ways.
good.
Yeah, it's like it's one of the best parts.
It sets up so much because they lose. It's like now if they lose, everything's on the line if they lose again.
Right.
They won't ever try to lose like that ever again. That's the beauty of it. So you know from there it's just going to be straight dubs.
Well, and they have to win, right? Because the third years, it's like
they're going to graduate it.
Yeah.
The last year, right?
Right. So, yeah.
So you know they're going to go all the way to like the final bracket.
They have.
You know
to.
it.
Yeah.
But like it's the final game that you're worried about. Are they going to win or lose?
Mm-hmm.
That's the exciting part. And like obviously they still lose in like their training arcs because that's the only place they can afford to lose.
Right.
Haikyuu, you already know where it's going after that first season. But it's more like you're excited. You already know what's going to happen, but you're excited to see how it folds out.
Right. Yeah. Because it's it's all about the matches, right? Like it doesn't. I mean, we assume they're gonna just keep winning and winning because that's more show. But like, I don't really care. I mean, I care if they win, but like, I don't really care about the outcome. I just want to watch them play. Watch them get better and like have like the crazy moments where it's like, how did that happen? That's what you want to see.
I forget what the numbers were for volleyball after Haikyuu came out in anime. In Japan, I wonder how the numbers looked. I forget there was like a graph someone made of the numbers like spiking ridiculously in volleyball clubs.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Just like, hey, we gotta do it. Want to be like them?
It's a great ad. I'm not gonna lie.
it's a great
also
ad for the sport.
It really is. I think like it's like what was it? Like every type of sports anime or something like that. It's the one joke with like it's like the text message thing, Dad, I want to get into X. And it's like, what anime has X?
It's like, all right, listen, you have to. This isn't a call out post.
That's a pretty good post. I like that one. It's like, I want to get into volleyball. What anime has volleyball?
All right, first of all, I take offense to that. Second of all, it's Haikyuu.
It's pretty good.
So yeah, make sure to watch episodes 3 and 4. Rent a Girlfriend and Lycoris Recoil will be coming back with that. Next, let's talk about the movie we decided to do. Jumping into some Nicolas Cage.
Notorious P.I.G.
No, okay, I was not expecting that. Yeah, we watched Pig, Nicolas Cage. It was always described to me as John Wick, but with a pig, which isn't completely false.
You replace the dog with a pig. That's a good way to kind of sell people on the movie.
You've already seen this, Ray. This is your second time, I'm assuming, watching this.
It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. I've never seen this before. I have some questions, Ray. Maybe you can help me with them. Let's see. So, his wife died, right?
Yes.
Why? The only reason I ask that is because, like, I feel like that's, like, why does it matter that his wife died in this movie?
Yeah, I don't remember why the wife died. What matters is that the wife is dead, and so he has this affection that's left over, and he decides to go really into truffle farming.
So, like, here's the comparisons, right? John Wick, right? Because I'm gonna compare it because has a lot of the same setups, right? I guess spoilers for John Wick 1. Even though me and you, I don't know if you remember this, right? Me and you covered John Wick on this podcast a long time ago. The first movie.
Have we covered nobody on here?
I don't think we've talked about it on this podcast. I don't know. You can add it to the list. Put it on something.
Okay. Because that's another John Wick. I mean, I've seen it as well, but I mean,
well, like,
nobody's pretty good.
Nobody was made by some of the John Wick people. Like, it is very clear. I'm pretty sure it's made it's marketed as like a John Wick parody. Like they know.
I liked it better than John Wick, not gonna lie.
I did not, but I'm sure we can talk about that if we watch it.
We can definitely talk about that.
So here's the comparisons, right? So John Wick was cool because his wife dying mattered, because his wife died before the movie and gifted him a dog. And that was basically her being like, trying to like soften him up a little bit and give him some emotional connection and something to remember her by, and like, hey, you're not alone, like, you don't have me anymore, but I have this dog you can spend your life with, all that stuff, right? And then like the dog dies and it causes John Wick to become his assassin again, right? With this movie, it's like they talk about the wife dying a few times, but I don't remember them talking about how she died, and I don't understand the connection between that and who Nicolas Cage is in this movie. Like, did she always want to become a truffle farmer? Did she like pigs? Did she gift him that pig as a little piglet? Like, I don't understand why his wife being dead is so important, other than just being like, oh, maybe that's why he cut himself off from the world. Is that why he stopped being a chef? Because if that's the case, it's just not very clear why I'm supposed to care why his wife died, other than just like empathy, like, oh, that sucks that your wife died. Like is there any plot related reason why it matters that his wife is dead? Like, was she murdered? Like, I just don't understand why I'm supposed to care. Like why did they keep that in the movie? Ray's trying to look for the answer, but the answer does not exist.
I'm trying to see if there's anything. But no, I think you pretty much nailed a good point there. It's like, it ultimately, I mean, it's an assumption is what I guess I'm making on this part, because I don't remember at all why the wife died, or how she died, or how that's important.
Just Ray, I made notes, so like I'm pretty sure there's no reason why, like no real, like, other than just
she's just dead, and like you're supposed to assume that she's dead, and it's why he recluses himself away from society and farms truffles.
Right, and like I'm all for not like beating your audience over the head with a point, but like I don't see a blatant connection. I feel like I'm just inferring the connetion. You know what I mean?
Very true.
But like, why did it have to be his wife?
We're just assuming.
Why couldn't it be like a brother that died? Why is it important? So I just don't think it is. Also, why does he love the pig so much? Again, was it gifted to him by the wife? Did he grow up loving pigs? Is it just like, when did he get the pig? Was it...
Oh, no, hold on. This is a prized foraging pig. This is like number one.
Okay, so then that goes
back... This one
back...
is like top of the line.
So then that goes back to, why is he a truffle farmer? Why does he care so much?
Good question. Why is he farming truffles?
The
It's
origin
important
of
to
this
find
man
truffles.
doesn't make sense. You know, that's all I'm
He
saying.
just has this pig. Rob would be like, "This is a cool pig. I like it."
Because, like, do they ever... Because, like, even in itself, you know, and I don't want to pick apart the movie because you know, I did really enjoy it. I thought it was a fun time. But, like,
Let's pick.
him just being, like, this chef that, like, apparently built the city of Portland with his own 2 hands. Like, everyone knows him. Like, first of all, that's a ridiculous thing to just make in a movie. And then, other than that, like, why did he quit being a chef again? Was it because his wife died?
We assume the wife?
Okay, but then why did that drive him to be a truffle farmer who is... Like, it's so extreme, where it's like, I don't have a wife. I feel like I'd be sad if my wife died. I don't know that I would just pick up my life and just move to the woods and buy a pig and now hunt truffles. I don't know that I would do that, you know? Maybe I'm not in the right headspace for that, but, like, it's so... I don't know.
You know what the best part is as well? It's when the movie tells you he doesn't need the pig to farm the truffles.
You know, I remember that. I remember him talking to that dude and was like, you know, the funny thing. you know what the crazy part is? I don't even need the pig. And then that dude is like, so why are we doing this?
He's like, I love that pig.
But it's not explained why, Ray. It's not explained why. Why does he love the pig so much? Where did he get the pig? Please just tell me it was the wife, because that would make so much sense. Like, it would connect a lot of things.
I got you this. This takes place in, like, a weird universe, right? Where his wife was actually not dead. She reincarnates into this pig.
Why did I know that's what you were going to say? In my mind, I was like, she's the pig. Even that would make
From
sense.
the heart of the heart of Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah. You must solve a riddle at the end. Is this your wife, or is this just a pig?
Is this your wife, or is this just an Asher?
I have a grip about that too, because I watched Spirited Away recently, and I did like an episode on it a while ago, and that end scene doesn't make any sense. So, like, spoilers for Spirited Away, I guess, even though it was out in 21 years ago. Spirited Away ends with her coming back and having the final test, which doesn't make sense because she does a lot of stuff that helps you, Baba, which it's like, okay, I've done enough to, like, just leave on my own. I shouldn't have to do this test, but whatever. She does it because she's learned to be respectful, right, and responsible. The test doesn't make sense. Like, how does, like, the movie doesn't teach us how she learns that none of those pigs are her parents. She just knows.
Yeah.
But, like, there's no explanation as to how she knows.
We tried to, I don't know, but the assumption I made when I watched Spirited Away is that obviously Yubaba has, like, a way to keep people employed under her.
Right.
So I'd assume it would be a trick of some sort to keep her and not have her leave.
Right. No. I mean, I understand why.
In sentence,
she
I guess
knows.
smart enough to know that, but I mean, like, it's kind of wild though to be like, it's such an easy answer because they're not here, so that way it's always wrong if I pick here.
Right. That would be ridiculous. For the movie to come to a
But I
head
don't think.
and be like, oh, well, Chihiro is just, she knows that Yubaba is going to use reverse psychology on me. Like, that does not make sense at all.
It's not hinted to at any point, or it's just that, like, Chihiro, or, like, I'll call Sen right now, is, like, insane at that point. And
It's
just
just
the craziest guess of all time.
It was like, oh, because I went through this whole journey and I'm a better person now and I'm more thoughtful of people and...
She's spiritually connected to her parents.
Nah,
and as such does not feel their aura emanating from any of the pig bodies.
That's awful.
Okay, listen. I know Spirited Away has dropped on your Ghibli tier list, so can we please raise Nausicaa and uh, Howl's Moving Castle up above it?
Mm, possibly.
Thank you.
I mean, possibly.
I think it's finally time for you to join my side.
No, see, because I still feel like Kiki's is the best Ghibli movie.
Keys is pretty good.
I still feel like it's the best.
Okay.
And then my last question with this movie is, so the pig died?
Yeah, Pig's dead.
Okay. Why?
Because those junkies don't know how to steal a pig.
Is that what happened? Did the pig would just die on accident?
Yes. Yeah, they accidentally killed him when they were transporting it.
Okay, listen, Ray. This movie's terrible. I'm just gonna say it. I hate this movie now. Nothing about this movie makes sense. It's just like weird things like, oh, there's this fight club. Why did they introduce that segment? What is the point? Why does...
But is it weird that it's a restaurant fight club?
Yes. Why does it exist? Why do we need... Listen, why does Robin, need... Why do all these things about his character need to happen? Do you remember that dude he goes to and he gives food and then the dude doesn't give him any answers and then he walks away? Why was that scene important? Why does that scene need to happen in the movie? There was nothing gained from that experience. In fact, you lost money because you had to buy food and give it to this man.
I will say the restaurant scene is actually one of my favorite scenes.
What restaurant scene?
Oh, he enters the guy's restaurant and is like, "This isn't what you want, my guy."
That scene is probably the best scene in the whole movie.
It really is.
Yeah, because he just like breaks him down and he's like, no, I know who you are. Like, I know what you want. I know you're not happy doing this.
It's like, you've already told me your wishes, my guy. You can't change. It's not your nature.
And yeah, I love, again, yeah, he just breaks him down and then like you see him like tearing up and then he like shares a drink of wine with him. And it's just like, oh man, dude, he really hit you at your core. Okay, we're good.
I love that everywhere he walks, everyone turns and looks at him and they're like, "Oh, it's him. It's Robin, dude. It's Robin. Dude, he's over there. Don't freak out. Robin's there.
Yeah, I know.
Who's that guy he's with?"
This random guy. It's just so many scenes, right, that just happen after each other that are just so weird and unexplained. You know what I mean?
I love that you said, "Man, I actually enjoy this movie." And then after breaking down, you're like, "Damn, this movie sucks."
This movie's awful. Why did we watch this movie? And there's this scene where like he has this lady, and the lady is like, "Oh, I'm saving this spot for him right next to his wife." It's like, why? Can someone explain to me what happened to the wife? Because no one has told me yet, and it's making me mad. It doesn't make any sense, Ray.
See,
Why is
the wife is a metaphor for communism, and communism's dead. So because of that, he decides to go out into the middle field to farm truffles because he realized he could live out a better capitalist life instead of be a chef. But then he comes back and realizes capitalism is wrong. I'd rather be a chef. But then he goes back anyways. Go back into capitalism once he finds out the pig is dead. He was almost willing to go back to communism.
In fact, the pig killed his wife, and so now the pig is the new wife.
There can only be one wife, and whoever kills the other one has to be it. So the pig is the wife.
That's how it works. There can only be one.
Only one. Well.
Anyway, next week we're gonna be watching Face Off, another Nicolas Cage movie. Rayman has already watched this, I guess. I will be watching it for the first time. Let's see if I like this one more than Pig.
How much you like Dubs?
There better not be a pig in this movie. I'm gonna lose my mind.
There may be.
I'm gonna lose my mind if I see a pig in this movie, Ray.
There's a lot of Dubs.
Oh, Dubs, okay.
And there's like the best John Travolta quote out here. It's like, I love a peach. I could eat a peach for hours.
That's a long time.
Face Off is truly an adventure.
Yeah, man. I'm ready for it.
My face off. This is the hand thing. Face off.
I see. Yeah, we'll make sure to watch that, everyone, because we'll be talking about that one. Next, Rayman, would be our usual Marvel segment, but nothing is happening with Marvel right now. She-Hulk doesn't come out. She-Hulk doesn't come out until, I guess, when this episode airs. She-Hulk already be out, but we haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, we're slow.
Yeah,
we're in the pre-times.
Yeah, we're
living in the past.
Yeah, living in the past, talking about the future. So I figured that we could talk about some Marvel stuff as a whole because somewhat recently Marvel had their little event at Comic-Con, and they didn't announce everything because they're probably saving that for
Emerald City or San Diego.
San Diego, I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's San. Yeah.
Because Emerald City I think's recent.
Yeah. Yeah, because they usually save like the rest of their stuff for D23, which I think is in September. I think.
Sounds right.
D23 day. But they announced a lot of stuff, right? So I have a list. We're gonna go through it a little bit. Phase 5 and Phase 6 are the big ones, but I do want to cover Phase 4 a little bit as well, just to kind of see where we're at, because 4, 5, and 6 are the multiverse saga, right? So Phase 4 movies.
Yeah. Marvel. Time.
So
line.
Phase 4, we got some movies, right? We got Black Widow, we got Shang-Chi, we got Eternals, we got No Way Home, we got Multiverse of Madness, and we got Love and Thunder, which I haven't seen yet, and then we have Wakanda Forever, which is the last movie in Phase 4. How do you feel about that lineup so far, Ray? Phase 4.
Looks standard. I don't know what to say. Standard-ish.
Yeah.
But they're going solely for independent movies because they're still trying to build their pieces up and then converge from there.
And we have the Phase 4 shows, which is also the first phase with any shows. We got WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk. There's a untitled Halloween special, which is like a musical type thing apparently. Then we have Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I feel like the shows are interesting. I feel like the shows definitely add to Marvel, to like what is it, like superhero fatigue or whatever, people talk about, where it's like just too much, but I feel like they do add this new way to experience these stories, and while the budget is lower, I do like being given more time with some of these characters. I feel like, imagine if they did a Loki movie instead. Do we think it would have been as good as a Loki show? I'm not sure. I'm not sure they could have covered enough and made us care about the female Loki or Owen Wilson's character, or even the one officer lady, who's like super hard, but then by the end of it, Sylvie has her crying, with like showing her what the world really is. It's like, I don't know if we would have got that moment, or if it even would have hit as hard if it was in a 2-hour movie.
What was it? So, my opinion on TV shows, I think things that are longer stories should definitely be adapted to TV shows. I think, and then like this also includes now going forward new character origins if they're not going to be movie essential directly. So I think like using Moon Knight and Ms. Marvel and as She-Hulk as good examples for like introducing these characters. And then Shang-Chi has a much more larger story to tell at the beginning, so we'll have him go out front and work with that. Which, it's weird for me to say Moon Knight, but Moon Knight is mostly independent. So that's why it makes sense for him to be out there and do his own thing. Ms. Marvel could have had a movie, but I think what they're doing is I think Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk are smaller heroes, so they'll TV show them. And you're right, like longer storylines like Falcon Winter Soldier, things that are harder to fit into a movie, you can just easily kind of shove into a TV show. Yeah, the budget's less, but you can tell longer stories like that and not have it feel too much. It is a lot of bloat though, because you listed all that stuff and I'm like, there's a lot of Marvel coming out. I remember there was the time when we were talking about maybe Marvel every week.
And it is getting to that point. You know? One thing
it's hit the point where like I'm just holding off on shows, just binging them because it's a lot.
Yeah. That's kind of what I do too at this point, because most of these shows that are coming out, I probably don't care about them enough to need to watch them week to week. I mean, now that we do this, I mean, we're probably going to do it week to week just because that's what it is. But like, something like Loki has me wanting to watch it week to week, whether we did this podcast or not. You know, because like Loki's a cool character.
Correct.
And then even after season 1, it's like I really like Sylvie. I really like Owen Wilson's character. Like Kang. Like, I mean, I don't know if Kang will show up in season 2. I imagine he will, but we don't know because like Ant-Man and stuff. Well, you know, whatever. But like that stuff is
probably like 200 Kangs. It's fine. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I mean, I will say that I just finished Ms. Marvel. I don't think you've seen that yet, right?
I have not caught up on Ms. Marvel yet.
I will say it's not like essential, but like it is probably like I think I messaged you where I said that, you know, behind Loki, I think Ms. Marvel is the most fun Disney Plus show so far, because it is geared more towards the younger audience, so it is more of like, this is a show that you could believe yourself watching on like Disney Channel. And not like a bad way, but just like all the main characters are kids. You know, like Ms. Marvel's a child, her friend group are all obviously kids, and like it kind of has that vibe to it, while, you know, still being important and still having some weight and some darkness to it, especially towards the end of the season. But like it's just fun, and like every character is fun and like enjoyable. You know, there's really no characters that you hate, except for maybe one in like the last couple episodes, because you're supposed to. But like it's just a fun time, you know. And like there's really nothing to worry about with like budget and stuff, because it's just people in school and people living their lives, you know. And there's also good, like, something that I like to see is like some nice representation there. And a lot of people were very happy with like the Pakistan vibes as well as the Islam vibes in the show, so I'm happy about that as well. So yeah,
I gotta give it a watch.
But that's phase 4. That's like current and slightly future. But then we had announcements for phase 5 and 6 that some of them we knew about, but some of them we didn't. So like phase 5 for movies, we got Quantumania, right, which we already knew about. That's Ant-Man. We got Guardians 3, which we knew about. That was happening. The Marvels. We got Blade, which I didn't think we were getting it that soon. Phase 5? I thought it was going to be later.
It's pretty early. Like, think about this. Next year we're getting Blade.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. These, we can talk about more in a second, but like these phases are all really short and really soon. Like phase 6 ends in like 2025. Which is like really quick. You know, because like the first 3 phases took what, like 10 years, 11 years, and the next, then 4, 5,
well, now they
and
can
6.
pump it, dude. They got TV series to help accelerate that.
That's true. It's still a lot of stuff though, you know.
It's a lot of stuff.
continuing with Phase 5, we have Captain America New World Order, which was a big announcement. And then we have Thunderbolts, which is like the Thunderbolt Ross stuff. It's connected to like Hulk, you know? So yeah, any of those jump out at you, Ray? You particularly excited for any of those?
Was that what Thunderbolts was? I thought it was,
Yeah, it was Thunderbolt Ross, right? And it's like he makes his own team, basically. It's like his own Avengers. I don't remember if it's good people or bad people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Ross doing it. It's the one chick.
Is it
Or is
not?
she under Ross?
I thought Thunderbolt Ross was... Well, I guess maybe it can't be him, because didn't that actor die, like, last year?
Yeah, I think it's that chick doing it now. The
Okay,
girl from
yeah.
Seinfeld.
But it is still like the same idea, though. It's just obviously not
Yeah,
him.
it's the same team, yeah.
Yeah. The Seinfeld. Yeah, that's true. That is her. What is that? Lorraine or something?
I forget her actual name.
Oh, I don't know her
I
name,
know it's
dude. It's like Wendy or
Seinfeld.
something. I don't know.
Wendy's or Wendy's?
Either. You can't say Wendy's. Just say Wendy's.
Wendy's? Okay, that's a fun joke. Alright.
I would say I'm really excited for New World Order, I think. I think I'm sad to see Steve Rogers not in the MCU anymore, but like Anthony Mackie doing his thing. You know, I enjoyed his parts in Falcon and Winter Soldier, so and we also don't know what other characters are going to be in it either. And it's nice to see you see what's going on there, you know, with his character.
I mean, we're going to talk about spoilers anyway because it's on this podcast and we've already seen it. But like in the last episode, they didn't really change to the Captain and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So in case like
And
if
then
anyone needed any confirmation, like it's confirmed. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I mean, he is Captain America. You know, that's what it is.
He's Cap.
Yeah. And it'd be nice to see him like be Cap in like a big budget movie, right? Instead of the Disney Plus show, which was good, but he's a movie now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
So that's
bigger.
cool. Phase 5 shows, we have What If Season 2. We got Secret Invasion. We got Echo, Loki Season 2, Ironheart, Agatha Coven of Chaos, and Daredevil Born Again. I feel like Phase 5 is going to be better than Phase 4 with shows. Because, like, what
I
if...
don't know how to feel about the but I mean,
About what?
Echo.
Do you know who Echo is?
Yeah. I just don't know why we're getting a show. What I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know her character too much. I mean...
I don't know how deep they want to make it, so...
That could play more with, Wilson Fisk. Because she supposedly killed him at the end of, that show. I don't remember which one it was. Hawkeye. Killed him at the end of Hawkeye. But we know he's not dead. Because, like, you're going to kill Wilson Fisk off screen?
Well, no, he's dead. He's just a Kree.
Nah.
Nah?
He's alive. He's alive. He's here.
Don't worry about it.
You
The one
tell
that
me-
died was a Kree.
And, like, you know, he's going to wreak havoc in the MCU. We
It's
know
just
it.
good to have a Kingpin, okay?
Sure. Yeah. I don't know if he's been called Kingpin yet. I've been watching Daredevil. I've been watching all the like the Netflix Marvel shows to like get caught up on some lore. Daredevil, good show. Fantastic show. Better than
I'll watch it.
Might be better than any Disney Plus show. Really good.
I also gotta watch the Punisher show.
What?
I also gotta watch the Punisher show.
Punisher, also one of the Netflix ones. Yeah. John Bernthal, great actor. Love him. He was in that's not a spoiler, but he was in season 2. He's a pretty big part of season 2 of Daredevil, and he's really good in it. Anyway,
I've seen his memes. They got good memes from him in the shows. Or they make good memes from what they have there.
yeah. Also,
But those
really,
scenes are like really good scenes, though.
really good in The Walking Dead as well. You ever see that?
I haven't seen that.
Uh,
I've not seen The Walking Dead, but I have played quite a bit of Negan in Tekken 7. Let me tell you that.
why? Why?
What?
Why Negan?
He's in Tekken. Well, he's an annoying character. He creates a lot of space with his bat. He has a lot of power hitting moves.
I see. Okay.
Like his auto combo is basically like a pseudo grab.
Okay.
I mean, he's not the best character. He's just annoying to fight. That's why you pick him.
I think I'm most excited for Secret Invasion. Seeing Samuel L. Jackson again. I feel like we haven't seen him in a while, in like a big way, you know. So for this to be like him leading a show.
He also hit the tier of old actors who just want to have fun.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely hit that point where it's like he can just pick all of his own roles. It's all gonna be him, and I'm okay with that, you know.
It's good to. It'll be nice to see him again. So
yeah. Then we got Phase 6. This is the phase we know almost nothing about. We don't know any shows. I mean, there's
exciting tier.
There are some guesses, but we only have a few movies for that. We got Fantastic Four, which I think is coming at an appropriate time.
2 years.
We have Avengers Kang Dynasty, and we have Avengers Secret Wars. I think those are two that were pretty easily guessable. One being Kang makes sense, and then Secret Wars has been rumored for a while. Yeah, those are kind of we're assuming is like the two big endings.
I just love the chart they've created for Phase 6, by the way, because Phase 5 chart looks so filled out.
Yeah.
And in Phase 4 or Phase 6, when you look at it, it's just all empty.
Yeah, and like, I don't know which one you're looking at, but like, it has dates for like 10 more projects, but like only 3 of them are filled in, and it's like, ooh, can't wait. Can't wait for them to tell us what those are. Because like, I'm pretty sure at this point, I don't know how many more rumors there are for like movies and shows.
It's mostly under lock right now. We'll have to wait like a year or so for them to come out with more rumors and like stuff to be confirmed.
Right. Well, no, what people are saying is that they're gonna announce the rest of Phase 6 at D23.
Oh.
Like next month.
They could all. You're not wrong.
Which is like makes sense because like what else are they like for D23, the big Disney day? What else would they do for Marvel other than announcing more Phase 6? Unless they had like trailers for stuff that we didn't see yet. Which would make sense.
So like, I think you're in agreement with me where I say that a lot of this, because we know Kang is good now. The actor for Kang is solid.
Oh, Kang, dude, the Kang good. Actor is ridiculous.
He's good. He's solid. So now the final thing we need for this saga, for this age of Marvel, is like a really good Doctor Doom.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the rumor. I mean, I'm afraid because I want them to do Doctor Doom right, but it's like, how much time are they gonna give Doctor Doom? Because like, if you look at this list, Doctor Doom is not showing up in Phase 4. I think that's, you know, pretty agreeable. Is there any movie or show in Phase 5 where Doctor Doom could show up?
He could show up in Quantumania.
Quantumania, that's possible.
They could pull a sneaky there on Phase 5 and show like they could show their Fantastic Four early.
That's
and
also
build
true.
up hype like that.
That's also
true.
They
could do that. Like seeing a Doom would be really good. Loki could even show us Doom.
And
Thunderbolts could show us Doom.
And to be fair, we don't know. I mean, we do know, but like, I mean, we know how long, but like, we don't know what projects are in Phase 6 other than the 3 announced. So, could be some time that. I mean, I guess I'm just thinking about Thanos, because like, Thanos was mentioned very early in the MCU, and mentioned like in like every other movie henceforth. So it's like,
But once they hit a certain, yeah, he was mentioned, but like I think once they hit Guardians, they started mentioning him, dropping him more. But before
yeah,
that, it was like you only basically heard him once in Avengers.
nah.
Maybe,
Well, I
maybe not
mean,
even.
in the
But, like,
movie, but I'm talking about like post credit scenes, where it's like every other post credit scene had Thanos in it in some way. Whereas like, in Dark World, there was Thanos in the post credit scene, because that one dude that was the villain in Dark World that no one remembers because he was terrible was supposed to, like, his mission was like the Red Stone. Was that the Soul Stone? I think. Was it the red one? I don't know.
it's reality.
Reality, yeah,
It's
reality stone. Yeah, no, it was reality. That was like his thing. Like he was supposed to deliver it to Thanos. Thanos was like, nah, but no, he was like, nah, it's my power, and then he lost it because he had to fight Thor. Yeah, so all I'm saying is that I don't want Doom to just show up. Can Doom be the antagonist of Fantastic Four, the movie?
I would not want that.
Because like, either he loses and you assume not dies but like defeated and that means he isn't the big bad guy for the multiverse saga. I mean, can we have Doom and Kang? Because like,
The thing is, like, we need Doom needs to be established early as a person who is able. He's like a Loki, right? They flip flop. They flip flop. You know. You need a good Doom to. It's different in Loki. Loki flip flops on his whims, right? Doom is basically like, I'm only flipping if like this is actually gonna kill everyone, and I mean like everyone.
I don't think Doom has to be like, because like, okay, so like, as MCU fans, we're like, okay, Infinity Saga had Thanos, right? That's like the big guy, fought at the end, 2 movies, all that stuff. And so our minds are like, well, obviously MCU's going to do that again, just with someone else, right? Which they don't have to. They could be baiting us very hard, where it's like, oh, there's 2
But
Avengers
Kang could
movies.
be the greatest bait of all time for Multiverse Saga.
I just feel like it being called the multiverse saga and like Kang's involvement in the multiverse. I feel like Kang has to be, in my opinion, Kang is going to be the quote unquote Thanos of this saga. And if they do that, I don't think Doom has to have a big role in this saga. Who's to say that Doom can't be introduced in this saga in phase 6 and then continue on to other phases and get stronger after that. You know what I mean? They're supposedly, they are introducing Adam Warlock in Guardians 3. You know what I mean? And it's like, he'll be a big part of it, I'm sure, but he doesn't have to die. At the end of Avengers, he could continue on as well. So I just don't want fans to get caught up in this idea that phases 4, 5, and 6 have to be contained. You know what I mean? Like, stuff can bleed over. Just because it's a saga.
No, I get what you're saying, but like, what is it? The thing with Doom is that he needs to be a strong character because he's going to be returning.
Sure.
He's gonna want to be a compelling villain. He is going to want to appear in multiple movies and shows, either
I
as a
agree.
villain or someone who like brings downfall upon the protagonist. And then in the cases of things like Kang, or Secret Wars, he's gonna want to be allied with them, even if he doesn't want to. That's the difficulty with writing Doom, I guess. You have to be able to pull that off and make it feel natural.
And Doom is no joke either. Like, there are some comic runs where he's like the most powerful being in the entire universe. You know what I mean? Like, he is no joke.
He's he literal god complex. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's not even exaggerating. That is true. Um, but yeah, so I'm just nervous because Doom is a character that I really like, and I just hope they do him right, and like I don't want him shoehorned in. I don't want it to be like, oh, him and Kang, and then him and Kang die, and it's like, oh, okay.
I don't know. I agree with you completely. I think Kang should be the overall big bad in this one, but I think they do need to introduce Doom correctly to make him a threat or menacing at least.
And like, Kang is cool enough to be the big bad. Like them taking a different, like, let's just say for this sake of argument that Kang is this saga's antagonist, right? Let's just say it.
Mm-hmm.
Them taking a different route and introducing Kang in Loki and showing off how cool he is, like how just like confident he is, and like again, like we love Kang for that episode where he just talks for like 90% of the episode. It's just Kang talking, and it's like, this guy's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even do anything cool in Loki. He didn't do a single thing cool. He just
talks.
He just talked to us and like kind of told
and
us
that's
about.
the best part. It's like the thing is, he has this aura of victory, and he's already lost /1.
Right. Like, the difference between him and Thanos is that Thanos was menacing. Thanos had the Infinity Stones, eventually. He beat Hulk. I don't think he was using Infinity Stones when he was fighting Hulk. You know what I mean? So it's like, he's just a brute. And, I mean, he's also clever, right? But, like, Kang is so different, where it's like, Kang is probably powerful enough to kill you with his fists, But, like,
it's his intelligence and charisma that's like terrifying.
Exactly, yeah. One thing I did want to mention when we're talking about shows, the fact that shows got introduced so late in the MCU, I feel like we were robbed of seeing Robert Downey Jr. carry a Disney Plus show.
That would have been wonderful.
That would have been cool, man. But yeah.
I feel like it's something he may have been down for, actually, if it was around that time.
Oh, yeah,
he may have said yes.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah. But yeah. Anything?
No, I think Kang is fun. Kang's exciting. Kang is cool.
I
it's
agree.
like he comes in Loki. He says basically, I've already won this universe. He's like, but I know you'll kill me. He's like, but when you do, I'll be back.
Yeah, because he was like, there's other versions of me that are gonna come. Like,
he's like, I've kept this on lock for thousands of years. You do not comprehend how much years I've kept this on lock. Since the beginning of time that you have known, I've kept this on lock, and I've been fighting before that.
I think you're hitting on a good point where it's like, his knowledge is what makes him scary, because like even in that moment where there's the moment where he stopped and he looked around and he was like, that's it. The what was it, like the timeline has just ended, and Loki and Sylvie were like, excuse me. What does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, like him just having like this cosmic knowledge of how the world works that no one else has is scary,
When we see Kang, we'll have... This is why Kang works so well. You need Mr. Fantastic and Doom here. These guys are also smart characters. We're lacking intelligence right now in the MCU. Like, actually, like, big brainy people.
You got Tom Holland.
I mean, I'm sorry to like this, like everyone else. Mr. Fantastic and Doom are like on another level of intelligence.
That's true.
At least what we have right now.
I mean, Reed Richards.
Like, the only person who could possibly match them... No, I think that's it. They're actually like the smartest people. Unless like Professor X comes in. And even then, it's like they're kind of smarter too.
Which, spoilers for Multiverse of Madness, he was there.
Yeah, but like...
Yeah.
No MCU version yet, so...
Eh.
I want Esposito for Professor X. I think I've said it already. Maybe not on this podcast, but I think Esposito would be a wonderful Professor X.
Did you see the thing that came out recently? Where he said that he was talking...
He did it. Yeah, he wants it.
Yeah. And he said that he thought his role was for Loki, but he's not sure. Which could mean anything. I mean, literally any character could pop up in Loki.
I would not mind him as Professor X. I think Esposito as Professor X is a wonderful choice. He's He could pull off a menacing X. We haven't
What
gotten a
about
menacing
Magneto?
X. He could also do Magneto, but that's like they got switch. They said Magneto they want to keep tied to like Sokovia. I don't know how they're
Oh,
gonna do
yeah,
that.
sure, that's true. Yeah,
It's not gonna be like Nazi Germany.
that's fair.
I
That's
would have
fair.
loved, but I mean they're swapping Magneto around. So I mean,
If
who
you were
knows where they're going
to,
with that line.
if you were to make a prediction right now, do you think John Krasinski plays Reed Richards in Fantastic Four?
I'd be okay with it. I'd say yeah, sure, why not? I think they did a test with it. I think it went fine, so whatever. I think the problem that everyone has with it is that they're like, this doesn't feel like Reed because he's actually smart. I think that's their issue with it.
They don't.
But the thing is, like, it's a multiverse, so you don't care if they're smart or not in that universe. They could just be idiots. Foiled everyone right there. Anyone who calls out that movie saying Reed was dumb, dude, it's a multiverse. He could just be a dumber Reed. Five head.
That's true. He could have also never faced someone like Wanda before.
They have Wanda in their universe, right? And their Wanda's nice. You know what I mean? Like, not mean, not destructive.
Right. Yeah,
They have no idea her threat level.
That's not fair. People saying that didn't feel like Reed. That's not fair.
They feel cocky because they don't know where her level's at. They have black belt. Black belt's insane. Like, come on.
Yeah. Like, what about Professor X?
They have
Professor
a reason
X
to do this stuff.
What about Professor X? He's smart, you know. I mean,
He's insane too.
You know, I'm sure like peak Professor X, he could have just blew up Wanda's mind, but he didn't. You know what I mean?
Are you telling me their level of cockiness isn't the same in the Avengers when they're like, we have a Hulk?
Yeah.
Like, excuse me?
Yeah. I mean, those are the same
It's
people.
the same level of cockiness.
Those are the same people that were upset that like Thanos got nerfed in Endgame. You know, it's like, what are you talking about?
They caught Thanos early. That's why he's nerfed.
Yeah, like whatever. Who cares?
Thanos had like how much years to gain on that strength, dude? Come on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He was caught lacking.
Yeah, man. Anything else about Marvel?
I think that covers it. You did a wonderful job there hosting it once again.
So we have our final segment. I feel like the segment I look forward to the most. We got books. Books, my man. So, do you want to start with Chainsaw Man, since we'll probably talk about Chainsaw Man less because it's shorter?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Chainsaw Man. So, Chainsaw Man is a manga, for everyone who doesn't know. Ray introduced me to this a while ago, back before it ended. Because it was like part 1 was like 97 chapters or something. Very excited for part 2. Part 2 came out like a couple months ago, right? Or a month ago, maybe. I don't know. So today, we're going to talk about what we believe is...
Did you read the one-shots at all? Or no?
Chainsaw Man one-shots? Or were they one-shots by the
No,
author?
the author one-shots. Fujimoto's
I
one-shot.
think I read one of them because you showed it to me. Because you were like, hey, read this.
You gotta read well, not all three, but all three are interesting. I think Goodbye Aerie is the best one.
That's the one I read.
And then his second. Okay, Goodbye Aerie is his best one. And then the second good one is the manga one. I forget what that one's called off the top of my head.
Okay. You should send those to me.
Okay. If you read Goodbye Aerie, that's really good.
Yeah, Goodbye Aerie.
What were your thoughts?
Oh yeah, that one was crazy. That was the one with they were making a movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? That was wild. It was like making the movie
So like, we're gonna talk about that after Chainsaw Man. It's fine because it's all connected.
Sure.
Or we can talk about it now.
Let's just talk about it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, so like, I explained this in a way because we read Fire Punch before as well, right? So like, this guy, he fooled me because I read, what was it? I read Chainsaw Man, I read Fire Punch, and I'm like, this guy's like a one-trick pony. He only knows how to write like, you know, like shonen manga, or like shonen seinen manga with like a hint of serious and edginess, you know. He and then like he gooned me. I read Look Back and I read like Goodbye Aerie, you know, and I'm like, he actually got me. He fooled me once again. This guy just actually knows how to write stuff. He's just flexing on everyone. Maybe one of the most talented writers at Jump right now.
Oh yeah, I agree. He's ridiculous.
He's just a big flex.
Yeah, so Goodbye Airy, I guess we'll probably spoil it. I mean, I don't remember it too much to like spoil super minute details, but it's a
It's
one
a one
shot,
shot.
so
I
like
guess it's a one shot, so it has to be spoiled. There's only enough to go on. Sorry.
pause this, take like 20 minutes to read the one shot, and then press play on this again.
It's promise you, it's really good. This is one of the ones where we say pause the video because legitimately crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, warning has been issued. Right. So this was the one Ray where, he was making a movie, and the whole point of the movie, the whole reason he did it was because his mom wanted him to record everything, right? Because she was dying. Wasn't that the whole thing? And then he finally, so he did that. I remember him making the movie, and he made it, and he showed it to his like school, and the school was like, why'd you do that? This was awful. And then like, because the gripe people had was he ended it with like a crazy explosion, right? And people were like, you're like disrespecting your mom right now. And he was like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not. Like, you can't. And I was really mad at that point because I feel like, who are they to tell him?
How he's doing that, right?
Yeah, like it's his own mom. What if his mom was into that? What if his mom was like wacky, and like she'd think that was funny? Like that's not fair. And then he became super depressed, right, after that, and he eventually met that girl. Didn't he meet her when like he was gonna kill himself, and she was like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. I don't know if he said that, but like, yeah. And then like
pretty much
they watched a bunch.
He recorded a video too. He's like, I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
It was really,
it was awful.
It got a really fast turn there. It was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he was doing it from the hospital that she was in, right? Was not like the
also where his mom.
Yeah.
Different levels.
Right. And then basically they watched a ton of movies together, like all day, every day, to make a better movie, right? Because she was like, oh well, how can you expect to make a good film without watching all of the film?
Even bad ones. You gotta watch bad ones to learn from bad ones.
Exactly. Yeah. And then didn't that turn into her being in his movie, like her being the central focus of his movie, right? Yeah. And then like the twist, which I don't know how big of a twist it was. I feel like it was pretty telegraphed, but that she was also dying, which is why she was at the hospital that day, because she needed to be at the hospital. And then there's like, okay, so the ending, you're gonna have to help me with this, right? Isn't there like kind of like a supernatural ending where doesn't she die, and then like he puts out the movie and everything, and it's called Goodbye Airy, and then she's alive again? Like, did she come back to life, or is it just the memory of her? Like, I don't really remember that.
I gotta hit you with the sonic boom that this one shot is, okay?
Okay.
So, like, there's layers to this one shot. This is why I love it so much.
Okay.
So, the first layer is that it's a movie for his mom, okay?
Right.
Then the second layer is that movie is within this movie of him making this movie about Ari.
Okay.
Okay, because she's...
I gotcha.
But in this movie, he basically also goes in and has even more emotional toll because Ari's dying. He's like, well, I'll make this movie and make her the character here. But then you also learn the twist that in the first movie, his mom was not a nice person.
I do remember that, yeah. Where like she like hated that. Oh no, she like nastily like forced him to record her, right? For like some twisted reason. Yeah, it was something like that.
Because like she wanted her big memorial. Right. See, that's it's we're in later here. And then the other twist was like, that it's all just even the father in that. It's like he's helping with the movie and he's saying, I'm happy with what you did with that movie, son. So he's like, you showed your mom in a good light. The layers there just keep building, okay?
Right.
So that's another movie, okay?
Right.
Is that this Airy thing comes out, and that's the scene that it ends with before going into the where everyone's crying about this Airy movie because Airy's dead. But what if that you just realize is another layer in this movie that's not really a movie, in this manga to tell the narrative?
You lost me.
The entire point of the ending is it's the explosion again. Okay, he goes back into a building and walks out, and there's an explosion. It's another layer that makes you call back to the first movie.
Sure. Okay.
The entire point of this ending is supposed to say that this is legitimately the ending of the film. Goodbye, Harry.
Okay. So.
So we're within a movie, within a movie, within a movie. You see the layers we're going through?
Okay.
There's 3 movies here you're looking at. The one movie, as in the manga, as in the whole. The second movie, which is the film he made for Eri, and then the film within that film for his mom.
So, did she die or not? We don't know. Okay.
Assumingly no, if you believe that this full manga is one movie.
Okay.
Or maybe yes, because she was dying. Or are you going to believe that, though, because it's all a movie, though?
Okay. So
this is what I mean. It's mentally playing mind games with you. It's such... Think of the intelligence that goes into this.
So the second layer, which is the Eri movie, you're saying that...
In the Eri movie, she is dying.
Okay, so you're saying
she's dead.
that...
In the Eri movie, she's dead. Eri movie, she's dead.
So you're saying that she possibly could not really be dead. That's just what the Eri movie is her dying, because it's a callback to the first layer, which is his mom dying, and that's the mom movie.
But then Eri, it says in the second movie, she wants a supernatural callback. So there's the third layer of the movie,
right?
Which is what the final part is, where she's alive and she's like, "I'm a vampire."
Right, vampire.
Like, I remember.
Vampire. I remember that.
That's why I'm watching these movies. I'm watching this movie you made of me, because this will let me know I'm such a good person. But we know from the second movie that Eri's not that good. Once again, he did the same trick with his mom, with Eri. Eri was actually mean, not even like his girlfriend, just a girl to him. They tried going out, it didn't work. She wore glasses all the time and braces.
That was more obvious.
Took him out for the movie scenes? What?
Her bad side was more obvious than the mom's bad side, though.
It is, though, but it's still like pronounced. They tell you just like in a couple pages like what she really is like. You know, and then the one girl who's her friend is like, "Thanks for doing this for me. You know, it really helped me see the best sides of her."
I see. Okay.
Okay, so we have that then with the third layer, the supernatural part. So we don't know if she's acting and if this was filmed for this whole movie as a whole. It was Goodbye, Eri. Or this is like, you know, she's dead and this was all there. Anyway, what you thinking?
Right, yeah.
Again, there's layers to this.
The ending to the manga with her being alive, right, is like the supernatural ending you're talking about, but
that's what she wanted.
That's,
and then
right. That's
it's also
wanted.
Calling back to the first movie. He's like, "What? How do you know how to do an ending like this?" And he's like, "Oh, I know.
Right.
It's gotta end with a bang."
I see. Okay, I understand. Okay.
See how nuanced this is? See the levels he goes through when writing this?
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's like, so like writing something like this, or like Look Back or whatever, you know what I mean? Is that the name of that one? I gotta look it up now. Sorry. Yeah, Look Back. I think you may have read Look Back. Look Back's the manga one, where he's literally writing about a manga artist. If not, I'll send it.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. Well, I can't send it, actually. It's not on Manga Plus anymore. You gotta find it your own way.
Okay.
But it's the layers he has to these things. You know, there's a complexity and understanding and weaving a story here on how he does these layers. Especially in, like, Goodbye Eri. Goodbye Eri is like a league above Look Back in the way he does that. But there's like a level of weaving storylines and like deciding what he wants. This guy's addicted to film, by the way. The author. We read Fire Punch. He calls way too much, and then obviously Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Too much callbacks to movies in these that he does on purpose. He's obsessed with narrative storytelling,
which is good.
It's good and crazy. He knows how to manipulate it because he's obsessed with it. it's one of the things I praise about his works now because I've gone through them too much. It's like Fire Punch and Chainsaw Man are both ideas on how he goes against standard protagonist tropes in standard storylines because he hates that.
Right.
And then like look back in Goodbye Ari, he's playing around with the idea of a narrative or story as a whole. Like Goodbye Ari is his own little inception he's made.
Right. Yeah, no, it does play that way.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know, when I read Goodbye Ari, I think of the entire thing as being Goodbye Ari.
Right.
Because I think that's the intended movie he wants them to see. Which is why I kind of want a film adaptation for that, a short movie.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be cool. I mean, hey, it could happen, you know?
It would be insane. I think anyone who would be willing to make that a short film would be... It would take effort, though, but I mean, it would still be really good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
Okay. So let's go on to
I'm sorry.
Chainsaw Man. So we're gonna do chapters 98 to 101. A few chapters there.
Part 2.
Part 2? Yeah, I'm starting part 2. So let's see. This was a little jarring for me because I didn't really remember the ending of Chainsaw Man 1 at first. So I was like, how does all this connect? But then I do remember that it does kind of end with Chainsaw Man becoming like a superhero, right? And becoming like public, I guess, in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
But this start doesn't really have anything to do with that, honestly. It starts with like a kid, a girl, and there's like this demon chicken, right? And
Yeah, Chicken Demon.
yeah, and then like it's just like wacky, and like it was funny because I remember reading it and I was like, am I reading the right thing? Like what is this? But the big moment in it, which is like, okay, here we go, is when she trips and kills Bucky. It was Bucky, and it's like, oh no, everyone's gonna hate you now. And that is nice because just that little bit of storytelling before then, where like she's just kind of like alone, and then no one really notices her or anything, or at least that's her perception. And then for her to finally get noticed by Bucky, who's like the most popular thing in the school,
Mm-hmm.
and then like for that to be a brief connection to the rest of her classmates of like, oh no, her other classmates kind of know who she is too, like this whole like separation is kind of in her own mind, because that's just her personality. And then for her
It's your anime protagonist stuff.
yeah. And then for her to kill Bucky accidentally after, again, in her mind, finally unlocking like this new perspective, for her to immediately be closed again because now everyone actually has a reason to not like her. It's like, oh no, that's awful. And then we move on, and she it's her, right? She's the one who gets taken by the demon, right? What is it? It's the right, yeah, because the president was a devil, and the president kills her because that's like her mission, I guess. And then she comes back with the war devil. So she's back alive again because she sacrifices herself, I guess sort of like Chainsaw Man did, although Chainsaw Man seems to have a more like symbiotic relationship, whereas this new protagonist doesn't. Is it, the like war devil is like keeps speaking in her ear and like wants her to like kill everyone and like take new like subordinates. And she's like, no, that's not how we do things. She's my friend. I'm not gonna take her. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess that's where part 2 is going, where this new person with the war devil wants to kill Chainsaw Man. briefly we see her like dislike Chainsaw Man. I don't remember why, but it just seems like her like overall dislike for everything towards the beginning. So I don't know if she actually dislikes Chainsaw Man or not. I mean, we know the War Devil does. It seems like that's like their mission. Again, I don't know that we know why. Like, is there that set up at all where other devils like disdain Chainsaw Man?
Okay, I'll give you the rundown. I'll break it down for you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, so let's start with the part 2 right now. So we have the first chapter of Chainsaw Man called Dog and Chainsaw.
Sure.
We have this first chapter of part 2 called Bird and War. So we're already laying the foundation here.
Okay.
This is going to be our protagonist for the time being.
Yeah.
Bird and War, you know. Dog and Chainsaw, Pochita, War Devil. I don't forget what they call the War Devil for short.
Oh yeah, it was something. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's fine. So we have that same type of thing going on here. I do like that she's living the normal life and then pulled outside of it, where Denji was never living a normal life and then pulled into it as well. So we're going from opposite directions here. Then we have Denji picking up one of the more fearsome devils. We think he's not fearsome at all, but Chainsaw Man is the Chainsaw Devil is one of the most terrifying devils to all devils because everything he kills is erased completely.
Right.
Then we got Bird and War. War Devil, connection to Makima, because we see the eyes. She's one of the horsemen. Same with Makima. Makima's control, which is supposed to be conquest.
Okay.
So now we have one of the horsemen. So that's why she remembers things like nuclear bombs. No one's supposed to know what nukes are.
Right.
So it's just, I'll make Chainsaw Man vomit or throw up nukes. Being literal. As in, we need to make him throw up nukes so we can have nukes again so I can be really strong with the War Devil.
Right.
Like, it's very core to that. I do like, they have Tentacle Boy. He's at the school.
Yeah.
He's just sitting low key right now. We don't know what he's doing. But he's there. I think it's everything I caught that may not have been initially glanced from that. So far it's looking really good. The other thing, because I know you read Goodbye Area as well, the scene where we have her walking away from the explosion she made in the first chapter she's in is exactly the same layout as Goodbye Area's explosion.
Okay. That's
if
cool.
you haven't noticed.
That's neat.
So if you can look at those panels back to back and be like, wow, they're actually the same. Look at that. Not much to really say on it so far because it's still starting out. We're still setting the groundwork for what's happening, but she does seem like a very interesting way to go about it. I think her name's Asa. Asa's a good character to work with, and I'm very much enjoying it. Is that right? Is Asa the name? Asa Mitaka, that is the name. I'm looking it up.
Mitaka, yeah.
Asa, yeah. Well, I'm calling her Asa. So yeah, pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot.
In the end, we just have the.
They call her Yoru. Yoru is the War Devil.
Yoru, yeah. I do remember that.
Okay. So yeah, that is at least it for me for Chainsaw Man. It's just there's not much to talk about on it right now, but it's looking like a promising start, and I do like the character shift. But I wasn't ready for it. It feels good. I would not mind if we did not swap back.
If we didn't,
but I would assume we would. But I would not mind if we didn't.
Yeah, I mean we will at some point, I'm sure. Just two quick things. We do have Yuko, that girl that seemingly gonna be her friend.
Sneaks lady.
Yeah.
Huge death flag. Any character that's too friendly has a death flag on him.
Yeah, which was nice to see. It was nice to see like Mitaka finally get like a friend, it seems, or someone that's nice to her. And then the end where we're at right now, we have the Bat Devil who is at the school, I guess, and now it's chasing them, and that's kind of where the chapter ended.
Yeah, Bat Devil. It's a fun thing. He's back. Seems weaker, I think. Is he weaker or stronger?
I mean, we haven't really
Okay.
seen him do enough to gauge. He's just kind of there so far. He's just kind of wreaking havoc.
Yeah, but he's back. It's been a while since I've seen him, so
Right. Yeah. Yeah, again, yeah, I mean, you're right. It's only a few chapters, but it's a nice start. It's a nice fresh start. Same universe, but
good character development on all fronts.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sure it'll only get better.
It feels that way. So.
Yeah. Now we have what we've all been waiting for. We have we're gonna talk about Lies of Locke Lamora, Part 1, which is.
I was considering making notes for this. I am definitely going to be making notes for this next reading.
Yeah, you got it.
I was considering it. I really was the entire time considering making notes. I'm definitely going to be making notes for the next one, for Lies of Locke Lamora.
Yeah, Ray. So
how do you enjoy Lies of Locke Lamora? This first part here. How well do you enjoy this?
I'm having a good time. It's giving me vibes of some other stuff, but I think it was a good introduction. I like Locke. I think he has a lot of potential as a character. I'm just gonna shotgun a bunch of stuff. We already kind of talked about this, but I do like the dual storytelling with the past and the present. I think that's a really nice touch that they'll keep up with the rest of the book, I'm sure. Oh, Ray, do you think that's where Chains dies? Do you think Chains will die in this little flashback sequence?
I think he will die in a flashback sequence. We'll see him die.
I feel like that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's anyone's there's fault because they're all still there.
True.
Even the girl's still there. We just haven't seen her yet.
That's true. And if it was her fault, I feel like we'd know.
Yeah, it would be very obvious. It did come out and say something about it. So I think everyone's in the clear right now. I think it's just he died. We don't know how. It could be his fault. Someone else's fault. Everyone could be involved somewhat, but they couldn't have stopped it, type of thing. But they don't hold any grudges because it's well, what's gonna happen? Couldn't do anything. It could be something like that, where at first they feel bad, but then they cope and learn that that's what it is. Right. It's type of the life they live.
So I got some stuff, Ray. Have you noticed that shadowed figure that pops up every few chapters? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Please explain. This is why I should know it.
Every few chapters you'll notice, and it is in the present storytelling, not in the past, I don't think. At the very end of a chapter, almost a non sequitur, the last few lines will say something about, and the shadowed figure jumped from building to building unnoticed. And that's it. And then a few chapters later it'll be and the shadowed figure looked from beyond the building and then turned back. And it's just and every time I read that, the first time I read it I was like, what? And then it came up a second and a third time and I'm like, what is this? Who is this? It's kind of stupid, but it kind of made it sound like Batman was tailing them. And I'm like, who is this what are they talking about? Is this gonna come up at any point? Is anyone gonna is this someone that's following Locke in particular? Is that Sabetha maybe that's because we never see her. Maybe there's someone following them. It's something that pops up, I want to say at least 3 to 4 times, and it's just super quick and super random, and it literally what I said is what happens. There's no more to it. There's no conversation that this figure has.
It's the last paragraph, dude, of every single normal section.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I'm just it's just so random. There's no connecting tissue between that paragraph and whatever was being talked about prior. It's just random. But we haven't got an answer to it. It's just this dude that's just there.
Okay, I read the last one. I will say it has wings, definitely.
Wings.
Whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, wings.
It
yeah.
has wings.
It's just like, is this a creature? Is this a person? Is this someone with like some weird technology, magic? You know, like, why?
We know it's a magical world. We just don't know what much is happening right now.
That's true. Yeah, we haven't defined the magic system of this universe yet.
If there is one, or if just magical stuff happens and there's living there.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, they can do alchemical crops, so I assume there's a level of
Yeah, something. Yeah.
something there.
We already kind of mentioned chains, so that's mute.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this down. I mean, I don't know if it's a lot, but I was gonna ask what happened to Locke and Sabetha. I mean, you assume that they were together, and then something happened, and they're not anymore, which is why he holds that very certain type of disdain for her. You know.
That everyone else does not have.
Yeah. You know, kind of rude of him to have that like lousy toast. Remember that? And they were like, come on, bro. Like, she's one of us, you know. And then he poured like a real glass of wine or whatever and had like a real toast to her. I mean, again, this is another thing I think I talked to you about a little bit, but like, I imagine very soon we're gonna start seeing more of her. I don't know about next part, but I feel like, you know, I'm not saying she has to show up and be like a part of the crew. Maybe not even in this book, but like at some point someone has to explain where she is and like why they keep bringing her up.
At least hints of something. Even honestly, we don't even have to see her in this book. She could just come in the next book.
Yeah.
It would just be nice to just have her hinted at or whatever.
Yeah, you just want something of like maybe them talking about an adventure they had, or maybe in like
maybe even show her more in flashbacks. Get us excited to actually see her.
Exactly. Yeah, I was literally just about to say that. Yeah, I'm sure we can maybe see her in a flashback, and you know, yeah, that would be nice. One thing I liked, which was a turn, I liked that scene in the past where they brought Locke to like, what was it? I didn't write it down. The like king of like the criminals.
Oh yeah, and the shark tooth.
Yeah, the shark tooth thing. I really liked that scene. I thought that scene was cool.
It's so fun. It's like the shark tooth's enchanted, my guy, and it gets everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's impossible to swallow it, but it's impossible to not get cut by it. I do like the end of that scene though, the end of that chapter when they're walking away and they ask Chains about like following him and
the
like
great peace.
Yeah, and like bowing to him or whatever, and then he's like, no, that's all theatrics. We listen to him, but we're not under his command really. You know, I'm not. Well, he says something like, I'm not training you guys to be what are they called? Like pesos or something. You know, it was like the name for like it's like peso or something. I'm not training you to be that. He says, I'm training you guys like Locke, Kahlo, Galdo, and Sabetha to be a ballista bolt right through the secret piece. And that line is like, ooh, he's playing in something. Like he's
Chains basically puts down the entire groundwork. He's like, you guys are not going to be like simple thieves and all that. You guys are going to take down the entire system.
Yeah,
when I'm done with this
entire system, you know, that's why he goes after nobility, right? He only goes after the higher ups, which is really cool. Yeah, I remember loving that line of like, no, this is not as simple as you think it is. I am like, you guys are the next wave, you know.
It's like that meeting. That's what we want him to think. We want him to think that we're under him.
Exactly.
It's all what we do. We give him pleasantries. He asks for a little bit of cash. We give him a little bit of cash, okay? And he doesn't look our way. We do our own thing that he doesn't know about. Exactly. And that's why I like Chain. He sets that up from the very beginning. He's like, this is all just money going to him so he can ignore us and not look at what we're doing. Because if he knew what we were doing, we'd be screwed.
He'd be upset, yeah. Something I didn't write down. Do you think that we'll see the first dude again? The first Garrison?
I think we'll see his daughter.
Okay, I agree with you. That's not what I was talking about though.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But I do agree with you. I do think that was important
Mm-hmm.
that we had that scene where he like bowed to her as well. I thought that was really nice. I'm talking about the first dude that had Locke.
Maybe. I would love to see him in a flashback. I'd assume he wants nothing near Locke.
Mm. Okay.
I
Yeah.
think maybe later Locke can go back to him and see him, but I'm pretty sure he wants nothing to do with Locke, at least right now, while he's young.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe when he's a little older.
If we do see him again, I think it'll be again maybe not even in this book, maybe later on. We did touch on magic. I did write down a few examples of magic in the world. We already talked about the shark tooth. We do have elder glass, which
We haven't talked, but that's interesting stuff there, though.
yeah, where it's like
It
super.
just doesn't break.
Yeah, it doesn't break. That's like where, dude, that scene where Change showed Locke like the real place that they lived, like underground.
It's basically a palace.
Oh, dude, it was so cool.
And like, even then, like before, when you have like the garrison guy, as you said earlier, taking him across like the Elder Glass Bridge, it's just, I was like, this is oddly calming and peaceful
Yeah,
and refreshing.
yeah.
It's like setting a nice tone and pace for what's going on. I like it. I like it.
And the only other example of magic that I had was the gentling of animals.
Yeah, like calming them and making them just like,
Yeah, like yeah, like super docile, and it's just like I don't know. It's just like little. You mentioned this with what was it, Chainsaw Man? Was it Chainsaw Man? I don't know. It was something where you were like it's like the small details, right?
the little things, dude.
Yeah, it's the little things, and I feel like that's what's. I don't remember the author's name, but I feel like that's something they're doing really well with Liza Locke Lamora.
Scott Lynch.
Right. Yeah. You're right. Where it's like it's the little pieces in the story where like I'm positive at some point gentling will come back in like a super important way, because right now we've just seen their horse that's gentled, and then we saw the goat.
Oh, and the goat.
Yeah, and it's like just
It's
kind
like
of
no
part
one
of
wants
the
to steal a gentled goat. What's wrong with you?
Why would you do that? But like I'm sure at some point we'll see it in like a bigger way, and possibly we'll really see it with humans, because they did talk about like gentling humans and how that's not allowed anymore.
I can assume there was a huge amount of slavery with gentled humans.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah,
Also, I love like the fictional economy. I'm sorry, the fictional economy is really interesting. We'll bring that up. You finish your thought.
Oh no, I'm done. Go ahead.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like all the like weird like I love the economy and like the government and all the politics stuff that he's right but also guessing about. And he's like, if this is gonna happen, it's gonna happen in a couple of years. But it sounds real because it's all real. And I'm just filling the details right now.
Right. Yeah, like his story about like shutting down certain waterways and like different like trade depots and friction between certain nations. Like he did say that, where he was like, listen, I haven't verified this, but it sounds good. And it's
And like 80% of it's real. So like
yeah, like it's most likely going to happen or already is happening, but like news just hasn't hit us yet, right? Because it's tough to get that to go fast. So something else that me and you talked about, how it's genius that Locke's plan includes telling the Don his plan.
Yeah, he's like, do you not realize you got con? What? He's like, yeah, like everything. It's like, it's all just, you got con, my guy.
Yeah.
Excuse me? It's like, it's not even real alcohol here. Just some fake stuff he came up with.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he's not even a real guy. He's been in this hotel for 5 years. Yeah, 5 years is a long time to set this con up, huh? He's really good, huh? Ain't he? He's a genius.
Not even a real guy. He's a pig. But like,
he's a pig. Can find truffles.
He can find truffles.
I don't even need the pig.
Cause like, I feel like a lot of books I read, especially fantasy books, I feel like I can't get away from Mistborn because I just love Mistborn so much. So
I'm
like,
sorry for doing that to you. I really got. I mean,
um,
I'm also happy. I'm sorry for giving you Mistborn
yeah,
and stuck in your head.
um, but like I go to them and it's like they also were criminals, right? Like they had like a heist, but on like a grand scale, like a
Hmm.
empire destroying scale. That was their plan anyway. And I just think about that and I'm like, what if Kelsier could never, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
he could never walk up to the Lord Ruler and be like, this is our plan and we're gonna succeed. Like it would never happen. You know, obviously it's different worlds. Lord
Hmm.
Ruler's a god, but like I just like that. To me, there's so many similarities between these two books, and like some of the characters, even like even Chains. You know, like Chains is someone I could see in the Mistborn universe. You know what I mean? Um, even just like with his charisma and his confidence and how calculative he is. Um, but like for
Chains is like an
Locke,
army of Ska children
yeah,
ready to
exactly.
take everyone.
um, but then even like Locke's crew, I don't remember any of their names, but like they all have their purpose. Like I really enjoyed the scene where Locke was getting his like outfit put on by his one friend. I think it was Gene, right? Isn't his
Hmm.
friend Gene or
He's pretty
John?
big. Gene's kind of John. Gene or John. I'm gonna call him John right now.
Yeah. I like that where it's like, oh no, he has like a specialty where he's like really good at this stuff. And you can tell they've done this a million times because they're just like talking about their plan and they're just like, oh, you want a mustache? Oh, that one doesn't really look good. Oh, I got you with this one. Or like, another thing I really like, and this reminds me of Wax and Wayne. You know how they have Renette, and like Renette is kind of their like easy way to explain how they get these cool new guns and cool new bullets. It's kind of like,
Mhm.
it's a very easy thing that Brandon did to be like, oh, there's this person that makes guns, you know. Um,
Mhm.
they kind of did it with Scott Lynch did this as well, where they have the one person where they didn't really meet in this book. Like we don't see any face-to-face interactions, but there's the lady who like makes all type of like criminal gear and gadgets. So like she's the one that like perfected the like black hair gel dye. Like she's the one that I don't remember the other stuff. It's like changed stuff about the face or changed like how people smell. You know what I mean? Like there's just like weird things that
Mhm.
like little gadgets. They're not like technology or anything like that, but it is like tools that she like gives to people and like sells
It's
like this
like
underground.
thieves need these to succeed or
Yeah,
blend in
yeah,
to make them less easy to catch.
and like she's the one doing all the innovating, and helping everyone in this market. And it's just like, yeah, that's cool that we have someone like that. Um, because it helps take away
Helps
the
build the.
yeah, exactly, helps build the world. Helps explain these things away. Like not have to be like, okay, well, Locke learned how to make this and this and that. Like he doesn't have to because he
Yeah,
has.
you don't have to make a genius. Just make
Yeah.
him innovative.
Um, and yeah, the last note I had was that this all feels like Mission Impossible.
It's a big heist, dude.
Yeah.
Excited for part 2.
Mhm.
Really, I will start taking notes because I wanted to, and I feel bad that I did not. Because I was reading this and I got farther into it. I'm like, I was maybe like halfway through, and I'm like, I should have took notes because I'm already like going through this like rapid pace, and I'm like, I really should have took notes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've covered everything so far. I mean, I like another bit of like teeny world building is the shark fights. I think that's cool.
Stuff, dude.
And like,
Even though like it's all like a pseudo metaphor for what's happening, it just helps build the world as well.
yeah. 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 So that was really cool. Yeah. And I feel like we pretty much covered everything. Can't really
That
think
feels
of
like everything
anything.
with Locke Lamora for right now. So I think next week we're gonna cover part 2.
Part 2. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, part 2. Yeah. And then the next
This is definitely good eats. I mean, like,
oh yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. It was a good pick by you, Ray. Good pick doing
I just love
lies.
the review. Like, sold me on.
which I don't think we've seen any like evidence of, have we?
No, it's just funny though that those are the Amazon reviews, and I'm just really.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it, right? I don't have anything else.
Mhm. Not really. I guess the only thing is like, because you didn't mention you were going a little bit more into like the Cosmere, which is kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, I guess I can
I think
talk
you're ready
about
for the
that.
next big deep and dive in.
Yeah, I think I could talk about that a little bit. Won't get into it too much, but yeah, I did finish Wax and Wayne Book 3, Bands of Mourning. Last time when we talked, I was about halfway through it. We already kind of talked about the book a bunch, but it's really good. I think it's definitely the best Wax and Wayne book. We have, some theories about, I mean, not really theories, I guess a lot of them are confirmed, but, I like how it's basically Kelsier, who is still at the forefront of everything, where we'll never escape Kelsier in at least the Mistborn series.
There's always another plan, my guy.
Yeah.
Or not another plan, always another secret.
Secret, yeah.
Always another secret.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say. I mean, I'm very excited for the next book. I'm excited to see how they dive. I hope we get more history with Kelsier there. I'm sure we will, because we have the coin that has possibly a lot more memory stored inside of it. The Bands of Mourning are pretty interesting. I wonder what's going to go on with them for the, because I imagine we're going to see them again in the next book. I like how they introduced more like those people. I don't remember their names.
Oh, the set.
Nope.
Or the Southern Scadrians.
Yes, those people. Yeah.
Okay.
That was interesting. I wasn't expecting there to be like a whole other like race of people, basically. I know. I hope we see more of their land in the next book. It'd be nice to kind of see some from their perspective. I mean, not only in like the memories with Kelsier, but also like from the people that helped them that day, at the castle.
Yeah.
Be nice to see their place and like how it differs from Elendel and that stuff. Steris is dope. Steris just gets better as a character. I think everyone's gotten better. I mean, even like Milan has gotten cooler, like she's really made me appreciate Kandra even more so than what I liked in the first series.
Like, was it Orisur and Tensoon, or like they kind of play it straight?
Nah, but like Orisur is still dope though. Orisur is crazy. Like like him being
I'm just
a
saying,
rebel.
like, they kind of played it straight. Like in like first era, Milan just goes all out with it. She's like, "Oh, which type of colored bones do I want today?"
Yeah, and I mean that's also like a testament to like the different generations, right? Because like Orisur at this point like is like the leader of the Kandra.
He's like the oldest one there.
Yeah, but like people like Milan are like, we don't really.
The thing is like, like Milan, like she was there in like OG first boy.
Yeah.
She freed him. She's like, yeah.
I do like, because this is something I mentioned with you, but like, because there was more faceless immortals, right, at the very end where Suit gets blown up by one. And then on top of that, we had the second book, I believe, where Orisur and Wax get attacked by other faceless immortal types in like the caves, if you remember that. And they were like super beastly, and it was really up to Orisur to really save them. Yeah, I'm very interested to see where that goes as well, to see if there are other creatures that have been created akin to, like I said, with like Kandra or Inquisitors or something like that, using the different types of, I mean, not Alamancy, but it's the other ones, like Blood one. the soul sucking one. That would be cool. Trell keeps getting mentioned. We talked about that a little bit. I imagine the final book will dive into that and probably expose him. Probably show him. So what his big plan is, because at this point we're kind of losing people, right? Like Suit was really the big connection to all this. So like what Wax had to what was really going on, and Suit's dead, presumably. Yeah, is that everyone's getting better. Marcy is cool. She held the bands for a little bit there. Yeah. And also one thing I did want to mention to you, Ray, is that Wayne, I do like whenever we have a chapter from Wayne's point of view, because his perspective on life is just interesting.
I love it. Like, Wayne has like some of the best chapters in these books.
Yeah.
Like Wayne when he meet the girl who he killed the father for.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, this ritual they must do, and it's just such a good chapter. Wayne when he like talks to Marasi to cheer her up, and he says like, what about sisters like hooking up with each other? Is that like normal? And she's like, never change, Wayne. Never change. But it's like because she was feeling down, and he's like, he says that just to cheer her up and be like, hey, I'm still Wayne, and you can still laugh at these jokes that are bad, and like understand that like this is our relationship we're gonna have. Mm-hmm. So he has his own perspective, even like when he goes and he's like, spares Wax's sister. He's like, Wax wouldn't want me to do that. But he shoots Wayne. Like, he hasn't shot.
Yeah.
He hasn't shot his gun. Because ever since he killed, he just hasn't done it. He doesn't want to kill anyone. He shot for Wax.
Dude, that was a moment like I was like really sad in that moment when like Wayne found Wax and like Wax was dying and Wayne like was getting destroyed by it. I was like, oh no, this is making me really sad. And then like for that to be punctuated with Wayne going back up there, grabbing the gun, being okay with holding a gun, and then just blasting Telson. Just like blasting her, and I'm like, dude, that must have felt great in the moment. Just like that, like that was my brother that you killed. I guarantee you, Wax feels that Wayne is more his brother than Telson is his sister. With like all the
especially after this book.
Yeah, especially after that. I was a little suspicious of Telson, not from the very beginning, but like every time she would speak, it would just feel off. How one track minded she was every time she spoke, and just how every time she said something, it felt like that was what she was supposed to say. It's like, oh, she really hates Sue. Oh, I just gotta get back at Uncle. Or you don't know what they did to me when I was there. They treated me like a prisoner and stuff. It was always just seemed like weird to me. And then for her to be the traitor, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense for them to have her for that long, Yeah.
It's quite enjoyable. And then you saw what I was saying when I said eventually we'll get like some cool power-ups. Bands of Mourning is what I was kind of referring to.
Sure.
It kind of awakens that. It makes anyone who holds it a full-born or uses it.
With everything, too.
So they can use all Ferrochemy and all Allomancy.
Yeah.
While they're holding it, because it's a metal mind that has no identity to it.
I still feel like that's it's still stuff that it's still tough to quantify though, because like I don't know, the Bands of Mourning get to like Superman territory for me, where it's like part of me doesn't like the bands because it's like, oh well, they're just like all powerful.
The bands make someone the Lord Ruler essentially. Think about it like that.
Not quite as good though. Because like doesn't like that stuff like degrade over time? Isn't that the whole thing?
The bands? Yeah.
Or just like allomancy and feruchemy in general, and like even the other one, the blood one, like every time it gets
It's
passed
like,
down.
yeah, the thing is, like, this is like juiced up. Kelsier has like juiced this over years.
Right. Yeah, you are right about that, because that was something that Wax said, right, where he was like, "This feels like old allomancy, which was more potent."
It's like this is making someone as strong as the Lord Ruler.
I would
Which is
like,
weird to say, but like he kind of is like the peak of strength.
he was, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know what I was gonna say. I would like to see. Do you? Okay. I don't think we're gonna see a lot more of the bands in the last book. I feel like that would go against the whole point of why the Wax and Wayne books exist, is to see
Mhm.
the bands used a lot in the last book. I don't know, because I was gonna ask if you think we'll see anyone that can use more allomancy or more feruchemy, like more than just two.
Generally, no. I mean, maybe it's a possibility. I think the set is spiking people to grab their allomancy.
Okay.
So we could see the set have spikes inserted into them that grants them all their multiple allomancies.
Yeah, I mean that is true. I mean we saw Suit have it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Telson did too.
So we could expect to see more of that.
Which then like wasn't Suit upset because he was like, he feels like it wasn't even worth it to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then he died. So it's like, oh wow, all that for nothing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I mean that's obviously what the last book's gonna be about, right? Like what the set is and like them coming out, because like this is the end. Like there's nothing after this,
Yeah, this is like, just imagine that this wasn't even supposed to really be a thing. Like Wax and Wayne, he was gonna come out with like the one book, and then he's like, okay, we're gonna make it a trilogy, and he's like a quadrilogy, or extended.
Right. Yeah.
And now if he does it correctly, he can actually get 16 books. Which is pretty cool. Okay, one moment.
Okay. Well, Ray's gone. Ray doesn't agree with me, but the Mistborn books are way better. They're way better than this. Wax and Wayne, I only pretend to like that. Wax and Wayne books are terrible. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be solo for this part. We're almost done though, so we're pretty much at the end. Anyone out there that is following the Brandon Sanderson universe, I imagine I'll probably continue the Cosmere. Ray went crazy. See, here's what happened, everyone. I read the first Mistborn book, alright, and I thought it was really good. And so I was like, hey Ray, here's this book that's really good, you should check it out. And he did. And then I stopped reading for a little bit. I think I got into manga really hard. And then while I was doing that, Ray decided to not only read the first Mistborn book, but read every Cosmere book there is, leaving me in the dust, because he's a bad friend. And then I finally am now catching up. But yeah, I'll probably start more, because Ray's talked about it, and he's not the first person to make this analogy, but it's like, Brandon Sanderson, the Cosmere is what the whole thing is called, and it's basically like the MCU for books, where it's like, oh, there's a bunch of different books, you could read them, and they're all part of this grand thing. Mistborn kind of being the main series, but then we have like the Stormlight archives, I think, and like a bunch of other stuff, so probably get on that. Another thing I wanted to mention, Ray can't talk about it because he hasn't read it, but I watched I read the Jeanette McCurdy memoir. That was really fun. Read that. It's called I'm Glad My Mom Was Dead. I'm Glad My Mom Is Dead. Glad My Mom Died. I think that's the name of the book. And it was really good if you're into that. Then I started the Reggie memoir as well. Almost done with that. Kind of got me into memoirs, I guess. So I read that one as well. Crazy stuff going on Nintendo. He's the one who killed Iwata. Crazy, nuts.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hey Ray, how's it going?
Hey, look up. Yeah, I gotta read that Jeanette McCurdy memoir. That's on my list.
It's good, man. It's good.
And then I guess you're reading the Reggie one. I'll probably try reading that too.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
I think Miyamoto also has one as well, so I kind of want to.
Oh yeah, I might check that one out. Yeah, the Jeanette McCurdy one kind of got me into wanting to read memoirs. I think the next one on my list. I mean, I'm after the Reggie one, I'm probably gonna take a break and read like my usual books for a little bit. But Josh Peck has a memoir from Drake and Josh. So I want to read that one too, because that'd be kind of cool, seeing like his experience with Drake and Josh and all that, how that affected him. Be nice.
You know, it's a wild world out there.
Yeah, that's all I was talking about. I was talking about like Mistborn, sort of, not really. And then Jeanette McCurdy and Reggie. So you didn't miss anything.
It's good. Did you decide what were you going to jump into other Cosmere stuff with, if you were going?
I haven't really decided yet. I mean, I'm not going to jump into that for probably a couple books. Probably going to, because my next book will probably be Scythe 2. And then I'll probably read the second Wheel of Time book after that. But then after that, I might jump into Cosmere. So
okay.
I have a little bit of time.
You got time. You got spacing.
Yeah.
I think trying to get into Count of Monte Cristo. So I think after like some either Locke Lamora or I think I'm going through Redwall right now. I think after those I'll go into the Count.
After that, you should get into Red Rising.
Maybe I will get into Red Rising.
It's good.
Redwall's kind of easy to read. I'm not gonna lie. So like Redwall is the origin of like warriors and like Guardians of Gahul and all that stuff.
I always wanted to read the Warriors books, but I feel like there was like a million of them, and as a kid I was
or like Secret of Nim, Redwall reads like that,
Tales of Despero, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it, Redwall's
Charlotte's Web.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was his name, like Pemberton or something? What was the rat's name?
Don't remember. I thought you were gonna talk about the pig, and I was like, Wilbur.
Nope.
Kind of odd to bring up a pig again.
Wilbur's the pig. It was like Pimpleton or something. What was his name? It was like Mr. Pimbleton.
Stuart Little. I don't know.
Oh, that's Stuart Little. No, that's not it.
Ratatouille.
Oh,
Remy.
Man. Remy. Dang it.
Right.
Yeah, man. I don't have anything else. Yeah, so just to recap for everyone still listening, for next episode, make sure to, for anime, you want to do Lycoris Recoil, episodes 3 and 4. You want to do Rent a Girlfriend Season 2, episodes 3 and 4. For the movie, we're doing Face Off. That's the second of 3 Nick Cage movies we're going to watch. For the MCU, the episode 1 of She-Hulk will be out by then. So we're going to take a look at that. And then the book, we're going to do part 2 of Liza Locke Lamora. I'm not sure if the actual Liza Locke Lamora is broken up into parts or if that's just how the Kindle app does it. But if you don't know...
I'd assume it is broken up into parts. It may be edition books too, but I mean...
Yeah.
because it also has chapters.
Yeah, so it's gotta be broken up like that. If you can't figure it out, I'm sure on Wikipedia it's broken up that way, so you can look it up there. It's not that difficult.
It's the second part, Complication. It covers chapters 4 through the interlude after chapter 8.
Okay. Yeah, so that's fine. So yeah, come back at it next week. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Chainsaw Man next chapter. So I'll probably do 102, right? 102.
Yeah, it's probably dropping in a couple days for us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, any last words, Ray? Before you die? Like a Wada? You know, I regret making that joke. I'm sorry. I should cut that out.
I was gonna say directly or something like that.
I'm sorry.
Directly.
2.5 episodes. They're 2.5 hours in. No one heard that joke. But yeah.
Someone heard it and they're gonna comment, I did not like that joke.
I don't like that joke.
It may be me.
Someone skipped to the very end just to comment that. But yeah.
So you're gonna have the freaks on YouTube who watch this video on 2 times speed. That's me.
Oh my god.
I tagged myself.
Oh my god. Calling yourself out. Yeah, Ray. That's it. Have a good day, Raymond. Have a good night, Raymond. Good night,
Have a
Moon.
good night. Good night.